Okay, we're back. We got cut off. My phone died, so it's whatever. There were a lot of comments that I did not get to see. Like a lot of comments I did not get to see, but it looked like it was possibly just like a lot of fighting and stuff. So whatever the energy is, we're just gonna get right back into the spirituality that I was addressing and using this live stream to address and build up, which is the difference of your spirit and your soul, and how you as a spirit create a soul so that you can connect with other spirits, and the power of creating a soul so that you can connect with other spirits. How do you create a soul to connect with other spirits? Why does your life matter? How can we see the soul in everything, basically? That's like what this is about here, your spirit and your soul. So you as a spirit observe space, which is really you as a space observing yourself. So this is why you're always observing yourself. No one can see your imagination but you. Like, just objectively, like, we know this. Well, I'm just getting us on like a basic consensus, okay? Like, no one can see your imagination but you, because that's an expression of your individuality. So that's literally you as a spirit imagining who you are as a space, and then you're creating the circumstances for that to exist. So that's only possible because of your soul. All right, your soul is your connection. Your spirit is your observer. Okay, so when you as a spirit are observing your own space, you want to create connections that allow your imagination to exist, right? So think about your ego as your imagination. That's simple. So your ego as your imagination can't exist if it doesn't connect to something, connect with something, right? So that's where you would have to literally connect your ideas to someone else's ideas if you're going to relate with them, right? So this is why nature works on connection. This is how water works. Okay, so think about your ego as fire and your soul is water. And everything that we can see, it may look like fire, but it only can be possible because it's connected through water. So technically all life is water-based. Okay, so everything in life is based in water because everything in life has to come out of the soul. All right, the soul is the vibration that creates reality. The soul is the vibration that literally builds all the energy. So like all energy that matters to you is vibrating, and is vibrating at a certain frequency, right? So when everything's vibrating at a certain frequency, that's where you're able, hilarious, you look a bit different. Yeah, I feel that heroes wear boots. You think I look different? How so? Is it, yeah, I don't know what it is. But I can totally feel that, because honestly, I do kind of look different, but I also don't know what it is. Time has passed. Time has passed. I don't know, whatever. It's actually definitely the light change. I think I maybe turned down this light, so like now it's warmer or whatever. So it's darker. Yeah, spirit versus soul. All right, so you as a spirit, you are observing space, and your soul is your connection to space. I'm like putting it in the simplest terms, okay? So everything that is an expression of your soul is how you connect to space. Boom, like right there. And this is why the way you connect with space is not the same way I connect with space. That's why you and I are two totally different people, right? Like you and I, completely separate spirits. We observe completely different parts of reality. We observe completely different parts of the universe. Hilarious. Thank you, Body Healing Stories. So all of us as observers, we literally have to create something so we can exist. So that's where you literally have to express your imagination through your body all day, every day, right? If you don't have an imagination about where you want your life to go, then you're not actually going to build that life in the proper way to do anything in reality, right? This is why every single day that you're alive is very important. Every day that you're alive is very important. You're creating your life with people that you want to build a family with. You're creating your life with people that you're trying to connect with outside of your own space. Like you outside of your own space is the only way you can meet other spirits. Otherwise, you'd be alone forever inside your own space, right? And then that's why people are scared of dying, because the whole point of being dead is that you're actually alone, right? So you liking being in a body is you liking being connected with other people. You using your soul to vibrate this body into existence is you connecting with other people. And it's you choosing to use your soul to create the circumstances where you can build a family with other people. This is where we get all of the number shit, right? So number 1 is your ego. That's your individuality. Number 2 is your soul. That's your water, which you connect to your ego to make it real. Number 3 is your mind. That is the result of fire and water coming together. The mind is the air, which breathes life into the body. That's hilarious, Adam Bong. Jesus, you're still talking. How about Jesus, you're still here? So if you're going to be criticizing me for talking, do you want me to ban you? I mean, I guess like you should be the first person I ban or something. Like, I guess. Like, shit. Because, I mean, people have been telling me to block people. So, okay, cool. Yeah, because it's just like people are here like consuming my wisdom, consuming all my shit, but then they like keep criticizing me. And it's just like kind of weird at this point. So it doesn't make sense for you to keep watching me while complaining about watching me. Like, that's literally the most demonic energy ever. We all experience a different reality, but all come together through the universe. Absolutely. Can you put eyeliner on in the afterlife? That's hilarious. I don't know. These are all natural eyelashes, but you can put anything on anywhere. So that's where the whole point is. Your mind is what you wear. So whatever you want to communicate, that's what you can wear to express yourself. And that's what we call your genes, right? So our website, Chase Your Genes, is about chasing your dreams through your body, because you made your body to make your dreams real, right? So now this whole body, everything that you're doing in this reality, it only matters because of your dreams, right? Like everything you want to do is about like making your life happen. Like you want to manifest your vision. You want to like get shit done, right? You want to make your ego seen. So like whatever imagination you want to connect, you're using your body to make that happen. And it takes your mind communicating. So this is the whole basis. 1 is frequency, 2 is vibration, 3 is energy. All right, this is basic hermetic alchemy that I'm telling you here of how we build life forever and ever. So you vibrate at a certain frequency to create energy that matters. You see that? You soul at a certain ego so you can create a mind that bodies. Literally. So this body is being animated by a mind, and that mind is expressing how it feels, the soul, about ideas, the ego. Right. So now you can start to see who I am based on the ideas I'm expressing. And you can start to see how I feel about the ideas I'm expressing and everything that I've got going on in my space based on how I'm actually connecting certain things and doing whatever. Right. So that's like the whole point of communication. This is the whole point of you as a spirit, knowing that you are infinitely individual and you are infinitely powerful. 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 I can't emphasize this enough. You're infinitely powerful. When you know that you as a space are nothing, this is where everything that actually makes your life matter is an expression of your imagination. I'm taking you to the energy of what creates nature and then what allows religion to exist. Because every religion is an expression of spirit's imaginations inside of nature. But nature itself is the imagination that being made real. Like you can't deny nature. Like whatever religion you're in, you're only going to be able to relate on the nature that your religion exists inside of. Or else it's literally not relatable enough to exist. So it's bigger than religion. Everything I'm saying here is infinitely bigger than religion, okay? But religion has to try and understand these things by turning it into some smaller system and some smaller form of control or whatever. Where does pride come in? Pride is about the ego. Ego get people in trouble. Ego do get people in trouble. It's true. It's true. The first casualty has finally happened. Yeah. We're in Aries season, so I'm realizing, like, I'm wondering, why is this live stream so demonic? Because most other live streams are like kind of friendly. Like, like people will come in and keep preaching like, oh, I need to sacrifice myself to Jesus. But it's never been like as aggressive like this. And it hasn't like built up to this energy of like building a relationship with people who are here constantly shitting on me, but they're in the lives watching me and still just consuming, but then shitting. And then they're just eating and then shitting, and they're eating and shitting. And I'm like, don't eat here, don't shit here. I think that's going to have to be the energy I have to start bringing. Absolutely. It's hilarious. Is bots placed a lower frequency in high energy rooms? That makes sense. Welcome to Mercury indeed. All right, we keep it clean here. All right, we keep it clean. These trees are pristine. All right, natural air purifiers. Okay, absolutely. So persona. Hilarious. But I guess, again, that's where we always projection perception, right? So everyone's just talking to themselves. I mean, anyone who like thinks like life is a play and a persona, they're going to be thinking that everyone's like wearing a mask. As a spirit, there's no point in being alive if you're not expressing yourself. That's how I view it. So I don't view it like you. That's where we're different. I'm trying to live a life of love without the ego. You can't live a life without the ego, or else you wouldn't be aware of shit. You see that? Your ego is your awareness. Whatever you want to be aware of is literally your ego. That's an expression of your ego. Whatever you want to be aware of is literally your ego. That's where your ego is your God. Because now whatever your idea of God is your idea of your own awareness and your idea of your own ego. So now if you're only aware of the reality you're in, it's easy for the language that you're speaking to teach you that it's the true God. Instead of you knowing that you're the God that made it possible for that language to teach you that it's the true God. So it's literally this difference of like spiritual reality versus physical reality. But you can't live life without the ego, or else you wouldn't exist. Like your spirit expresses itself through the ego. I bet you date people based on star signs, huh? I date people based on emotional resonance. Currently reading on something about that. Minds without bodies. Hilarious. What's up, Ma? Rough day. I was watching a video the other day. You think there's hidden civilizations on our planet? This whole planet is civilizations. This whole planet was built by spirits communicating their imaginations into existence. So yeah, all these civilizations are built on other civilizations. And I mean, America is stolen from Native Americans, indigenous peoples in general. Americas and Merkaba, these concepts are stolen from Hermes, from Enoch, from Tahuti, from many messengers of Mercury. In general, just a lot of the ancient world. So yeah, there's a lot of ancient cultures just in general, yes, under the earth, under the water, inside the planet, right? Like think about how your body is literally way more alive and active on the inside than the outside, objectively. So like whatever you've got going on outside of your body that makes it look like you're alive, isn't it only possible because there's so much more going on internally? Like, doesn't that show you then that perhaps that's the same thing with the earth, where there's like so much more going on internally than there is externally? And us living on the surface of it is literally just scratching the surface. Like it would be like the bacteria that live on the surface of your skin. Like that's what we are on this earth type deal. Jesus is the ruler of all creation. Hilarious. Ego don't exist. Ego is an energy. Hilarious. Yeah. All right. So you as a spirit, when you're observing the universe, you're basically figuring out where your ego is going to connect inside of this pool, right? So you as a spirit, you're not in control of the universe. Like you're observing the universe and you're seeing that other individuals are creating the universe. This is the power of being the observer. As a spirit, you're literally observing how the universe is constantly expanding. Like right now, you are in a spiritual mode because you're observing me communicate. So you're not in control of what I'm going to say. You're not in control of what I'm about to do. You are literally observing me communicate, and then you are figuring out connections. And now you're talking to yourself about what I'm projecting, and you're making your own connections based on what I'm saying. And then you're figuring out if you resonate with this or not. And then you're building up your own life with all this information, right? But the whole point is this is only possible because I'm here doing this first. And now you are there second. So I'm playing out the spirit being the fire. And then you're playing out as a spirit being the water. And then we are together creating air. And then this air creates the earth that we're standing on right now. And now we're always creating earth with this basic alchemy of how we're always just expanding with the way that we communicate and combine ourselves. So, you as God, right? You as an individual spirit, when you create yourself as God, the whole challenge of your life is figuring out how to connect with other gods. And this is why your soul has to kill your ego. So we are all connected. The only way we could observe each other is if we were connected. So if you can't observe something, it's because you're not connected to it. Because the thing is, all spaces are separate. So for example, you and I, we would not be able to connect if we did not all connect to English, right? So if we did not all connect to the same language, we wouldn't be able to show each other our individuality, because we would all be too individual to say anything that makes sense, right? We wouldn't be able to relate with each other or build. What's Gucci, God? Fellow God. So the whole point of me saying that you are God is not that you're responsible for other people. The point is you're responsible for yourself. And when you know that you're responsible for yourself, this is you knowing that you have ultimate power to create your circumstances. Basically, you have the ultimate power to make your spirit a structure. And that would be the point of you knowing that that's basically what you've been doing your whole life. Like, it's just about your awareness of it. Like, at what level are you using your space to create a structure? And like that imagination that makes your structure matter is God, right? This is why you can believe in 100 different religions. I'm going to like keep saying this. I know I'm going to be having to repeat myself when I'm on live like this because people jump in and out and whatever the fuck. So it's just, it is what it is. You can have 100 different religions and you can believe in all of them through one lifetime. And then at the end of that lifetime, you're reflecting back on it like, wow, which one was the one true God? None of them were the one true God. Like, everyone is an individual. Like, that's boom. Like, now we have empathy. Like, now we can see how each religion is connected because everyone is an infinite individual. And then everyone has their own idea of infinity. And then this is how we're all expanding the universe by using our imaginations to boom, expand, 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 expand. Because we all have our own ideas of infinity. Right? So the moment you create your own religion, you would expand the universe, right? So you could literally be a Christian and then grow up, hit the age of 40, and then be like, you know, I want to build my own religion. And then boom, you build your own religion. The more people hop on that and believe in it, you would be expanding the universe. So now that you're expanding the universe in your own way, that's you making your imagination real. See how this is natural? So I just described how a tree grows. Like, take the religion out of it. That's how a tree grows. That's how a branch grows. Like, that's just like how plants grow in general. You see, like with no religion, like this is how plants relate to build structures, because it's about this spiritual energy before we create religions to try and understand how nature moves and assign it to, the ideas of man and woman and all this stuff. I've been out of body, seen the whole world, came back around from below and back. Hey. I like the sound of that. That's definitely the mood. You're flying around in your Mercury, it sounds like. So, your soul is your vibration. And this is basically where, when you know that your vibration is your heartbeat, you can see like just the practical magic of how your spirit is constantly bringing life to your body with a heartbeat. Like, no one is beating their heart for you. It's you beating your heart. Okay, you're the one beating your own heart. No one else is beating your heart for you. No one else. 70 hours into water fasting? Way to go. Hey. I'm not water fasting. I'm about to be pretty soon. I'm glad you are. I ate today. It was fire. The knowledge is innate, but we're indoctrinated into someone else's reality. Right, and this would be the reality of the people who made money. Right, so now the whole religion that made money can make us make their idea of one true God matter. And this is how they are making their idea of like one true God matter. So this is then the point of English. Like the people who made this religion that also made money, made English to make money out of Native America and in general North, South, Central America, in general the world, because it's supposed to be the new world order, right? English is created out of Latin. We see that Latin is right there on the back of the dollar bill. It's all nice. They got the Egyptian pyramid that they stole from yours truly. They got the all-seeing eye to represent how they want to see everything that they're doing on the internet and money and all the matrix system that they hook you up to. The metaverse, which they stole from Metatron. So very fun. We just had to consciously communicate better. We had to communicate more consciously, both of those, whatever, law. We have to consciously communicate better, and we have to communicate more consciously, because it's literally up to all of us to create a better reality. That's why it takes like knowing that you're God. If you don't know that you're God, then you can't take responsibility for co-creating reality together. So I'm just getting us into the energy of taking responsibility for all of us co-creating reality together. If only negative energy exists, imagine how the trees and plants would look, right? How could you possibly go on a super awesome psychedelic trip into nature and enjoy the beauty of nature if it's just like negative? Absolutely. But we can't control our heart beating. It does it automatically. Man, so my whole point is that your spirit is beating your heart. You know that when you feel differently, your heart beats differently. So that's your soul. Your soul is your emotion. It's not hard. Your soul is your emotion. You feel like being alive. So your heart is beating. When you feel excited, your heart beats faster. When you feel fearful, your heart beats faster. When you feel relaxed, your heart beats slower. So right there, your heartbeat is literally an expression of your emotion. But the whole point is you feel like connecting your emotion to something. So now your body can experience it. Real simple. Real simple. Agreed. Hey, you're very welcome. So when you know that your soul basically creates water so that your fire can exist, this is where you can understand the importance of your body being water-based. And now, we can really talk about fasting and like the health benefits of fasting. If you don't know about the health benefits of fasting, link in my bio. Okay, we got a whole website about fasting. All right, fasting has changed my life. Everything that you're listening to, all this wisdom, like literally just comes from me naturally fasting. I promise. Like it's very lit. It's very awesome because everything that I do with fasting is naturally me connecting to my soul. And that soul is what my spirit created to connect with itself. So as a spirit, I am observing my own soul. But if my soul doesn't feel like being in its own space, it will create a body that allows my mind to communicate into this reality. So that's where up to the point where I started fasting, my mind was super anchored into physical reality. So I get where everyone is. Like when demons come up here, quote unquote demons, or there's a bunch of people come up here and they're like talking a bunch of shit. I get where they're coming from because I have lived in this life. I've had my mind lost in the body and everything. Okay, so it's taken like a lot of fasting. This is where all these religions that talk about fasting, all hermetic, is about connecting with your spirit so that you can literally create your imagination, create your circumstances. And that's like all of life is, right? Like, what's the point in being alive if you are not building the family and the reality that you want to live and that you want to experience? Right? Like, what would literally be the point? Like, I'm pretty sure all of you are here, like, you want to build friends. Like, you guys want to build families, right? Like, you guys, everyone wants to, like, meet people and hang out and make sure that they die with some sort of structure or whatever the fuck, right? So the whole point is we're all here building something, but then it's like in different levels of building. Like what level in which are you building? What level are you like aware that you're building your life? Are you building your life for yourself, or are you building your life for someone else? Right? If you feel like you have to build your life for someone else, then that's where we get all this just in general projection energy. Like, people who really project really hard are people who are building their lives for someone else. And that's where they can only perceive you as someone who's also building your life for that person, right? So think about a religion where they're like, hey, Jesus is everything. If you don't agree, then you're wrong. And now I'm going to make you agree with me, and we're going to take over your land with this idea. You know? So that's literally, again, just the whole history of the world that we're in. All right, it's the whole like real point of English. It's a subconscious weight of this language, and it's important that we hyper consciously address it so that we can move forward in a way better way. Okay, because this is me on like decolonization shit. All right, because obviously the world's colonized. There's so much plastic and metal and toxins in all of our food and our water and our air and everything, and it's all spiritually representative of what I'm talking about here. Everything I'm talking about here is connected to climate change. It's just, it takes the right individual to know. Right, science is divorced from spirituality, but if the two were joined, humanity as a whole would look and act differently. It's true. Before I came to Earth, I was on Mercury. And when I'm on Earth, I'll go back and visit Mercury sometimes. It's pretty nice. It helps me gain more wisdom, reflect on my past lives, bring back stuff that's relevant for here. Then it's just a balance of like what's relevant versus what's not, basically. Anyone else see Prince in Neanderthal, man? Hilarious about ramen. Yeah. Oh, yeah, it's you. Just like everyone says good morning. Yeah, morning who? Jesus. Wow. Good morning of Jesus. That's deep. That's facts. What do you do for downloads like that? I meditate. So I, as a spirit, created the idea of the Merkaba. So this is why you can look me up as Enoch, as Metatron. You can see what the Merkaba is, and you're not going to get a good explanation on the internet, so I'll tell you. But I'm letting you know that when you look on the internet, you go into the world, see these religions, this is what's going on, this is what's up. The whole point is that I created the Merkaba to represent how your mind is your chariot of God. So your chariot of God is what allows you to sit in something that you can fly out of your space with. So right now, we're technically all, this is why I say we're all God, because we're all sitting in our own minds, communicating with one another. So that means that you're literally creating reality with me. Like, you're literally right here sitting in your Merkaba, you're sitting in your mind, communicating in a body with me. And by doing that, you are being God, I am being God. But the point is, we're expressing our individuality together in a way that's relatable. Okay, so it's just about us being individuals. And then from there, you can like get a better understanding, like, okay, so my mind really actually built my body. Like, my mind existed in this space before I was born. And then I brought my mind through my father into my mother. And then I was born out of that. Sacred text or a good resource. Cool. Exactly. I'm from Mercury. I am from Mercury, but actually specifically my spirit built Mercury to connect with the universe. So I, as a spirit, have to build a structure to connect with the universe. That's every spirit. So your space doesn't exist until you build a structure to connect with the universe, right? Like, you as a spirit are observing your body that you built to connect with the universe, which is why you don't want to die, because you want to build a life and you want to build connections with this body. The point of building this body was to build a life with other individuals. Right? So this is why life is important to you. It's just about knowing where you're coming from with it. So my spirit built Mercury to make sense out of how I connect with the universe. So now anytime I do connect in the universe and I manifest a body in a simulation like this, it's because I'm called away. So in this life, I'm Chase Clarence Callaway. It's because it's Tahuti Trismegistus. Trismegistus means thrice great. So it's about tripling your C, all right? It's about triple C, 333. It's about hyper communicating your reality into existence. This is why Hermes Trismegistus is basically like, I mean, the whole God for the US government. Like everything that the government has was stolen from Hermes. Everything in Christianity is stolen from Hermes. All this stuff is like stolen from Hermes. It's like like literally, like actually though, it's just, there's no shortage of information about this online. There's no shortage of like all that information online. None. No shortage in any way, shape, or form. So, man, that's hilarious. I've been getting Drake ever since he released that album where he had like the swoosh in his hair. It was like some dude at a library who came up like, you look like this new up and coming pop singer. And I think I was like, I don't know, 13 or 14 at the time. And I was like, okay. And I've been hearing it since. Hilarious. Can I unpack the structure idea more? Yes, we will unpack the structure idea more. Because your body is a structure, right? But of course, science shows us that just like there's space within space, there's bodies within bodies. So we can see that your body isn't just one structure. Like this whole body isn't technically just one body, right? It's a heart, it's lungs, it's brains, it's bones, it's all these capillaries and arteries and like muscles and fibers and like all this stuff working together, literally, like so much stuff working together that it's complex, right? Like basically the point is that nature is built off of connections, and this is how evolution is a thing, right? This is how spirituality creates evolution. Like evolution is spirits naturally evolving physical reality because we're creating better bodies. Like it's just like our natural creativity inherently. We're naturally expanding our bodies and creating better bodies. Like this is just the idea of evolving, right? The idea of becoming a superhero even, or just like evolving your consciousness, or just like leveling up in any way. Like everyone goes through it. Like that's what life is about. It's just about how you play out this energy of like how you want to evolve and how you want to level up or whatever. But the whole point is you build structures based on the ideas that you connect with. So when you're connecting with any kind of idea, that's literally like you spending time building a body that represents that idea that you're connecting with. Like literally this live stream is a structure that I'm building by connecting with ideas. And these ideas I'm connecting are everything that I'm expressing through these words. And of course, you can't see the ideas that I actually see. And I can't explain myself perfectly to you. I just have to like use the language that I'm connected to at this moment to translate and express everything to you. Right? So this is like the whole challenge of communication forever. You know, anytime you're communicating, you're trying to translate your infinite imagination into something that's relatable for everyone. So you're always limited to the people who made your language. So it's essential to know about the history of the language. Essential. Yeah. Alan Watts mentioned something like that. I sometimes think like a fool, but move like a god. Too woke. It's true. I do feel like I'd be too woke. And the point of being in a body is that you're supposed to be asleep, right? So your mind is woke, but your body's asleep. Okay. And of course, we're like trying to balance this, right? Like you're in a body because you do want to be asleep from your space. You want to be unaware of your own space so you can be aware of what your body's connected to, which is what we call the simulation, right? What we call reality, right? Like, but it's that simple. Like you're just choosing to be unaware of your space so you can be aware of this space. But it's all only possible because you feel like connecting with something outside of yourself. And then there's like a lot of details in which you can do that. Having trouble connecting how creation happens in the space before physical manifestation. Literally, the moment you imagine anything, that's creation, right? So if you create a light where you imagine something, that is your creation, but that exists only in space, right? So imagine everyone imagine something right now. Like imagine Spider-Man swinging off a building. Like, oh, Spider-Man, there he goes. Everyone imagined that thing totally differently, right? Like, just because I told you to imagine it and I imagined it, I would be a fool to think that we're all expressions of one God and thus you imagine the same thing I did. Like, no, you are your own individual spirit. So you imagine your own version of Spider-Man swinging through a building. Like, if we could all see each other's imaginations, you'd be like, whoa, like that was a different thing. Whoa, that's different. Whoa, you all imagine different versions of whoa. Oh my God. Like, the whole point is that we can never truly relate our imaginations to each other. We're always creating something that allows us to. So this is how creation happens in space before physical manifestations. You're always creating something inside of your space before you're connecting with that idea enough to make it real. And then that's how it becomes a physical manifestation. Gang, gang. Sadhguru mentions language like that. Knowing the self-mind being so great and flesh being what we make it. Absolutely. Absolutely. The number one book to read, Power of Now. Power of Now is cool. Check out Power of Now. I would, like, if I was to give you 3 books to read, it'd be The Genie Within, The Power of Now, and 48 Laws of Power. Those books are like pretty fine for navigating this reality. But I mean, really, read whatever you want. Like, read whatever you want. The point is, you're going to be getting that individual's perspective. And then that individual's perspective is limited by whatever belief structure they're in. And then that's where you have to like really look at belief structures and everything and like make sure that you're navigating the right world and someone that's actually working for you versus like against you. Because that's where it's really easy to start believing in people that are working against you. It's kind of what's happening in this world, kind of hard, right? Like with climate change and everything, everyone's believing in individuals that are actually working against humans. You know, it's kind of silly. It's weird. But people just aren't thinking, I guess. And that's why zombies are a concept. And that's why pharmaceuticals are a thing. And just zombifying people with pharmaceuticals, and hey, you know, we're pretty deep in it. So yeah, the big magic that I'm just taking this time to address is how you as a spirit have created your whole life by creating connections. Everything that you've done in your life is you using your vibration to create connections. And that's how you're able to make any ideas matter. Hey, all right, go astral travel. Love it. So 12:30. It's 12:33 here. Yeah. So gang. I'll be astral traveling pretty soon. But right now I'm about to address just more of some basic like practical magic, right? Just like getting the basis and grounding for you understanding how you create life by connecting. And these connections that you create can only be possible by vibration. So the more you vibrate, the more you connect. And it's like basically that, you know? So think about your vibration, think about your heartbeat, think about like you moving, doing anything at all, right? Like that's literally you having your own vibe, and that's your ability to connect. This is why there's no better words when we think about vibing with people. Like, am I really connecting? Oh, am I vibing? Oh, snap. Literally, boom. That's your soul, right? So if your soul and this other spirit's soul, like you, like they're two separate spirits, right? Let's say like you're a boy spirit and you're going about your life and you meet a girl spirit. She's not your sister. You're not created by the same God. This isn't incest. You're two totally separate spirits with totally separate souls, but you vibe. That's magic. Is that not? Like, isn't that what like all these Disney movies are about, and like what all these stories are about, and what everyone's minds are trapped in? Everyone's like obsessed with the magic of meeting their soulmate, or like meeting that cosmic partner, or meeting someone they can truly vibe with, right? Like, it's all soul shit. Okay, so the whole point is you as a spirit want to create connections. You want to like, this is you creating connections. Hey, what's going on? We're here talking about how your whole life is you as a spirit observing the connections you want to create so your ego can exist. All right, so your ego is your fire, It doesn't exist until you connect it with others. So we all are water beings because our souls produce water, so our fires can be expressed. But of course, what happens when we actually add fire and water is that we create our minds. So this is why fire and water are internal elements. Okay, so like think about your spirit and think about how your ego, your imagination, only you can see it, and your soul, your feelings, only you can see it. But your mind, you communicating, other people can see your mind, right? Like you guys can see my mind, but you can't see my mind without the body. So this is where we get air and earth. All right, so ego is fire, soul is water, mind is air, body is earth. And once we as spirits create all these elements, we can transform through reality to build a family. So this is all my number shit as to Hootie Trismegistus. Okay, this is boom, all the elements. This is the basic language of the universe. All right, this is where we get 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8, 9. And then with all that, we can create 10. And then it just boom, boom, like infinite alchemy and math from there, right? Now we can be like, it's all math, but this math is allowing elements to exist. The whole point of math is to allow elements to exist, right? This is why you can't have one without the other. So elements are feminine energy, math is masculine energy. Simple as that. It's super simple. Elements are feminine energy, math is masculine energy. And you gotta have one to have the other type deal. Like if you want elements, they have to be channeled through math. If you want math, well, they're going to have to be elemental, right? So you can't have something if it's not vibrating. You can't have a piece of matter if it's not. Literally, vibrating is the best word. Like think about color, right? Like the moment you imagine a light, it has to be a certain color. That means that it has to be vibrating at a certain frequency. So now we get into color science. I could get really deep into color science and how that's being used to trap people and everything. What's going on? What's the fix to restore the connection? How does one reboot their vibe? Water fast. Man, let me get more water too. How does one reboot their vibe? Heroes wear boots? Water fast. That's really what we're getting into here when we're thinking about your vibration and your soul. So yeah, you reboot your vibe by water fasting. Water fasting will cleanse your space. It'll help you connect with yourself and purify whatever you've got going on. This is why water fasting cleans your body, because it shows you like what's going on a physical level, but you're doing it spiritually, right? Like it's all about like spiritual first and then physical. And then once you're like getting your spirit clean, your physical starts to like get handled, and now your body's healing, and now you're getting stronger and everything. Let's just vibe. vibe. Yeah, literally. So the moment your heart stops vibrating, you can't vibe anymore, right? Like we're just talking about scientifically. Like I would love for you to keep vibing here with us, but if your heart stops vibrating, you're not able to vibe, and that'd be very sad. So we have to recognize that your spirit is beating your heart, and that's you as an individual choosing to connect with your body, which is why your heart is affected by your emotions. You can't run away from that. 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 You cannot run away from that. It's in fact what's powering your body, right? Like you can't run away from your feelings. Like literally, like let me run away from my feelings. Let me get out of here. Let me get out of here. Oh, fuck. My body's just being animated by my feelings. Damn. All right. Well, let me sit with myself. What do I do now? Learn how to communicate. Look at that. And now we get life, right? Everyone is learning how to communicate. Everyone's learning how to communicate their ideas and feelings into existence. But if you don't feel like you are the space, you're going to spread war and genocide because you don't feel happy alone. This is where we get the people who are scared of death, and they're willing to hurt other people because they're scared of death. Like it makes no sense. Like I don't understand how. Like it's very strange, very strange. But the whole point is just connection, right? Like you have no idea how someone connects with themselves. So if someone's scared of death, that's because they have something going on in their own space that perhaps they're scared of, they don't want to see in general. They're running away from their own memories, perhaps, right? Because that's really what, like, when you die, you would be left with your own memories. So if you're like running away from your own memories, then that's where you would want to be lost in light and be like super lost in physical reality and everything. And then want to get have your mind put on a Black Mirror computer, right? Have your mind abducted into like the utopia technology that they're talking about, or just in general, have your mind trapped in virtual reality. Thoughts on Fia's fight clubs? I've never heard of Fia's fight clubs. So life then really is about like learning what your soul resonates with. What does your soul vibe with? Because when you as a spirit know that you have a soul, you can take your feelings into account and know that how you feel is like ultimately what matters over like everything, right? Like this is why if you're stressed out, your body will produce cancer. If you're stressed out, your body is going to produce sickness and it's not going to feel good, and you're not going to be healthy. You're not going to be a healthy individual because you don't feel at peace inside of yourself. You don't feel whole, right? So this is how this society is causing hella health problems inside of people, of course. They actively stress us out with bills. They actively stress us out with money, and they actively stress us out with slavery. They actively stress us out with all their ideas that were created to make us serve them. So now we're constantly using our elements to serve this number. So see how number makes us use our emotions to serve someone else instead of ourselves, right? So whoever made up money can convince you that you should use your emotions to work for them instead of yourself. Now, instead of being happy alone, you're forced to serve the person who made up this concept because they're not happy alone. I feel sometimes like I can predict what's next. Well, I mean, it's about you projecting. So it's not like predicting what's next. It's about you knowing that you're creating your life. And like you are what's next. You know, but of course, you're not creating life alone. So then the whole point is perceiving other people's projections. So as a spirit, when I built Mercury and I built it to observe the universe, my entire life, my whole wisdom comes from observing the expressions that other individuals make from connecting, because that's all life is. Like you can make new plants anytime, you can make new planets anytime, plants and planets anytime. You know, it's all just simulations. That's why I'm CymaTree. We talk about simulations here. Okay, so we're this whole conversation, everything we do is about you building your own simulation and you having the wisdom and understanding on how simulations are built. Okay, so as psychedelic CymaTree, as Hermes Trismegistus, your trippy tripsy psychedelic psychopomp, I'm using the trippy tripsy clarity of my caduceus, of my mind in general, my Merkaba, to communicate about how all of us as spirits have been experiencing and building the universe for infinity and beyond. Shout out Buzz Lightyear. Shout out Buzz Lightyear. Oh my God, bro. Icon. Infinity and beyond to the max. Straight up. That's the whole universe. That's you. You are infinity and beyond to the max. Like you are like such an infinite individual. You can do anything. You can expand anywhere. You can do whatever you want. It's literally just about you figuring out how to connect your imagination with the environment that you find yourself in. Okay, but that's just know like this is what you've always been doing your whole life. Like you've always been doing this your whole life. You've always been figuring out how do you as an individual connect with the environment that you're in. Right? It's just about you building a consciousness in that. You're building a mind in that. So you're getting smarter every day, right? I would hope so. Let me know in the chat if you're getting smarter every day. People who've been watching me at this point, I'm sure you're getting dumber. Ha ha ha. Now let me know. Do you feel like you're getting smarter every day? Because I feel that isn't that the point of life, but maybe it's not. Maybe I have people watching me who are like, nah, bruh, shit. I used to be smart. Now I'm dumb. You attract what you are. I was hearing about this earlier. Perception is projection. Perception is projection. Heroes wear boots. We're going to have to be saying that forever. Like, just straight up. It's going to be forever. It's always is. It's like, I need to be putting that on shirts. Like, truly, when I release my CymaTree clothing line and everything, projection is perception and perception is projection will be two different shirts, and I'll flip the words around. We'll have a good time with it, because everyone is just self-reflectors at that point. Like, this is the whole thing that we saw with Paige in the live stream earlier before my phone died, where people, there's no shortage of spirits in the universe who want to connect by telling you you need to worship them. There's no shortage of spirits in the universe who want to connect by telling you that you need to go support them and you need to sacrifice your life to Jesus. And you can be the most intelligent, wisest spirit in the universe. You can know how their religion was built, but because they believe in their religion, they're still going to tell you that you need to believe in it, because perception is projection. They can't perceive that you are the creator of their religion. They can't perceive that you have a greater perspective on life than they do, because their eyes are blinded by a smaller thing. So it's literally like everyone just like being lost in their imagination as a spirit. It's just about, like, again, like, what level is your imagination at? Think of the billions of moving parts that happen outside of your control that allow you to exist. For real, Tony. It's so beautiful. And this is like the magic of the universe. Like, we're all infinitely individual spirits communicating to build all these structures that allow us to exist so that we can experience life. Like, so many individual cells are working together so you can exist right now. When you water fast, you learn to have ultimate gratitude for your body. It really makes you talk to yourself. It really makes you love yourself. It really makes you heal. It really makes you level up. If you want to learn how to water fast, all right, link in my bio. Join chaseyourgenes.com, okay? Because it's like the healthiest thing you can possibly do. And it's the healthiest thing you can do when you're doing it from a spiritual perspective, especially, okay? So no one on the internet is going to be able to show you or teach you how to water fast from a spiritual perspective, especially, all right? Especially, okay? I've been doing this for years, and I'm only building upon my past lives of doing it just for eons at this point, okay? So it's natural. It's a natural thing. It's natural. Drinking water to connect with your soul is natural, because that's the point of you being alive. Like, you drink water so that you can connect with your soul, and now your soul can connect with other souls based on who you want to vibe with, right? So that's why we all have to drink water to be alive together. We all have to drink water to have blood, basically. That's the point. We all have to breathe air, and we all have to drink water so we can all have blood. If you don't have blood, you don't exist. I'm putting it in the most scientific, basic terms so that, like, no matter what system or religion you're lost in, I'm showing you how we all create life. Right? So you got to have blood to exist. That's why only you can manipulate your blood. No one else is moving my blood. So not prediction, but projection. I love my food garden I've created. Absolutely. But hey, the balance, of course, is projection is what you want to see. But prediction is you can totally, like, start to predict what's going to happen in the future, Sky Jeff. It's just about whatever you consider a prediction is you figuring out the projections of others, right? So, like, you're predicting based on how reality has gone up to this point where it's going to go. That's technically a projection of yourself, but you're molding your projection to the universe. So then this is where you're predicting where the universe is about to go, because you're able to perceive how the universe is projecting. So when the universe is projecting, you're like, okay, I perceive it. It's going to go here. And then that's, prediction for sure. Like, no one's discounting your power of prediction, basically, Sky Jeff. If you're infinite, then you are nothing as well. That's right. That's right. That's the wisdom. In form emptiness, in emptiness form. Space is nothing. This is why the ego is imagination. And the spirit is space. The spirit is infinite. So your imagination is infinite. But the moment you imagine something, it's not. Right? So then that's where you as a spirit are constantly expanding your ego. You're constantly expanding your imagination. You're constantly expanding your infinity, because you as a spirit are infinite, but your ego isn't. But since your ego is the expression of your space, it's never going to end. That's the idea of being God, of you having your own individuality and expressing yourself as such. Is that metaphor? Shit, let's work, fam. Law. I exactly feel much better after knowing you or here along the rest. Hey, gang. What is that? Why they poison tap water? To sever interpersonal connection or dampen it? Yes, that's right, heroes wear boots. They poison tap water because in general, the government poisons water to corrode how your body connects. So this is why we have to water fast with clean water. And in general, water fasting is important in general. Because when you water fast, you're removing the particles that are stopping your body from fully being able to connect in a clear way. And then from there, it's basically like a whole thing of how much are you consuming, like to muck up your body, right? Like when we see health problems in the world, people who are obese, everyone who's super fat, it's literally just because they're eating a bunch of garbage that's mucking up their arteries. It's as simple as that. And the more they eat this garbage instead of water fasting, they're just holding on to this gunk that is blocking their ability to communicate. And now they can't flow. And now they can't breathe. And then because they can't communicate, they can't breathe life into whatever structure they're trying to build. And boom, it's as simple as that. Like, you know, like that's, you can see like spirituality goes into health right there. So your whole life only matters because of the connections that you are making. Right? Like everything that you've done in your life as an infinite individual existed because you got connected with other individuals. So it's literally all about like whatever life you're trying to build, you're trying to figure out how that's going to connect with other individuals. And that's really where we get into like the big magic of communication, like practical communication. You feel me? Like the actual real, like I'm Hermes Trismegistus. Okay. So as the god of communication, this is why I'm called here to like literally do these live streams. I'm building the CymaTree with this. Okay. I'm going to take this live stream, put it on YouTube. I'm going to grow. This is for the world. All right. This is like a whole structure that is getting built so that we can all learn about spirituality and we can all learn how the mind of Mercury views the universe. Basically, how does the mind of Mercury view the universe? Because the mind of Mercury is the expression of one spirit. That's one individual spirit. And that has nothing to do with anyone's religion or anyone's language. Okay, so that's what we're talking about here. All right, and you can like perceive me in whatever level you want, but you got to know where I'm coming from, of course. So your soul is your ability to literally connect with the universe. That's how I built Mercury. I'm like, oh, okay, I want to connect with the universe like this. Let me build a structure out of it. And you're watching me do that right now. So this whole process is me bringing Mercury to Earth. And really the whole point of me being alive is that I'm always bringing Mercury to Earth because Mercury is the air planet in metaphysical reality. And CymaTree is the Earth body business that I'm building in physical reality. And physical reality is being created from metaphysical reality. So now you can see how my mind is becoming matter, right? First I think it, then I feel it, and then I communicate it. and now it settles into this live stream. It settles into words, it settles into a structure, it settles into things that we can stand on and reference and learn about life and whatever the fuck, because that's just natural, us creating life. I really played the Hephaestus role, but I'm having trouble understanding your connection to those. What do you mean, heroes wear boots? Ego is your shadow. It's only there because you are, and the size of it depends on an angle, really? No. Eriki, ego is your light. Ego is your light. Like, your ego is literally your awareness. Like, your ego is what you want to see, right? Like, literally think of your ego as your imagination. So whatever your imagination is, that's like basically what you want your life to be, right? But your imagination is individual to you. So that's your ego. And then that's where you can have your idea of God. Because now you're like, whoa, but how did all of this come to be? And now it's about like, how did reality come out of imagination? Okay, and then that's where we can get all these different religions. But the point is, you as God are experiencing life as the ego. But then that's where, as a spirit, you're creating yourself. So now it's about knowing, like, you don't have to be like, oh, you're God. You're a spirit. Okay, but as a spirit, when you express yourself, you naturally are God, because that's a creative force. So the moment you start to express anything, that's you building life. And the more you're building life, that's you playing the role of God, because that's literally just you expressing into the universe. You're creating light in the universe. Now your God is becoming psychedelic, and now it's using Lucifer to have a human experience. So this is you as a spirit going from fire to water into air. And then that air keeps communicating, and now you build this earth. And now this earth can settle and represent how your mind communicates. Right? That's like what everyone's doing on social media. Like, I'm explaining literally how the internet is spiritual right now. Like, everyone's social media page is them doing this basic hermetic alchemy. Heroes wear boots. So you're saying you're understanding your connections to my identities is a metaphor or literal? What identities are you talking about? I'm letting you know that as a spirit, I literally built Mercury to stabilize how my space connects with the universe. So you can look at my website, you can see who the messengers of Mercury are, and then you can see how they're all connected by one soul. So you would just have to go see who the messengers of Mercury are. Gang, gang. Because no one can connect all the messengers of Mercury except me. It would take the actual spirit to come back and do that. Or else they just all look separate to you because you're all individuals. Right. Okay, absolutely. Yeah, you just have to comprehend that. Like, I have to create myself to exist. So me being CymaTree right now is no different than being Hermes. It's no different than being Tahuti. It's no different than being Metatron. It's no different than being Idris or Ningish Zeta, because these are all expressions of my space, just at different times in space. So now it's just about developing upon my soul. Gang, gang. Gonna drink that up with some water? Me too. So I get it. The point is, I'm in a reality where, because people aren't like in tune with past lives and whatever, the moment I talk about my past lives and where I'm from, people's egos get in the way. So this is the balance of me just building a structure right now. And it's like, it technically doesn't matter if you believe me or not. I'm building the structure with the natural expression of my individuality. And then by doing that, I am actually expanding the universe in the way that represents me as a spirit. And then this is where trees grow. This is how nature grows. Boom. It's not about a religion. It's literally just about making sense, basically. You know, so I'm just showing you, like, this is how my life makes sense. Like, I had to know who I am for my life to make sense. And that's where it takes soul work. It takes water fasting. It takes this connection. As an archetype or a being is my question, Law. Like, Mercury is a simulation. So Mercury itself is a simulation in the universe where spirits go to communicate and build life. So like, this is a simulation. Mercury is its own simulation. So my spirit built that simulation to communicate with the universe. That's why Mercury is the planet of communication. So then this is where I as a spirit live on Mercury, because that's my planet. And then other spirits that resonate with my soul, they come help me build Mercury. And then this is where we get psychopomps. The idea of a psychopomp in general. Like, literally that. And then they come help me build Mercury. And now I have a planet like this. It's no different. This is how nature grows. It's just about resonance, right? So if I'm building this planet for a specific purpose, then the spirits that naturally resonate with it are going to be there. And then that's where the more consistently they come, we expand the universe and we all learn from each other. And then this is the idea of like building families or soul groups, or just learning about who you are together and all that shit, basically. So the whole point is actually working from the top down as a spirit. Like, as a spirit, fully knowing that you're working from the top down instead of like being lost in the body and like thinking that you need to work from the bottom up, right? But I understand most people experience life and the physical body from the bottom up. So it's very hard to like be spiritual in that sense and feel like you can see things from the top down. Just know that America is obsessed with eagles, because Egypt represents the ego as the eagle, and that's stolen from me as Hermes. I mean, in general, Egypt is the natural expression of me and my soul group, and we're just building. But America stole the eagle from Egypt because it represents your spiritual ego. Your spiritual ego is your ability to fly over circumstances and see how everything's connected. That's what birds can do. That's why birds are like super spiritual individuals. That's why I, as Thoth, as Tahuti, rock the ibis head, because it's about me as a bird seeing how everything in the universe is connected. It has to be, or else it wouldn't exist. It's that simple. So we're talking about this interplay of your soul being the connection and your ego being the separation. Okay? Your ego is a separation, your soul is a connection. So right now, and your whole life, you've been experiencing life as your ego because you feel like you're separate from space. But you can only feel like you're separate from space because your soul is connected to space, which means that you are not separate from space, and it's impossible. You see that? So you feel like you're separate from space, but the only way you could feel like that is if you weren't, or else you would be nothing. So this is like, it's completely spiritual like that. You see that? Like, it's all about you as the observer, actually like connecting with your ego. Your connection is your soul, and then that's your consciousness that builds up whatever reality you want to imagine, whatever reality you want to see, whatever you want to experience. And then this is how you could write your own Bible, you can write your own story, write your own religion, write whatever you want, do whatever you want. The whole point is you're writing your own story in your life, right? Well, right. What I'm imagining is an oversoul that inhabits physical bodies during different time periods. That's basically it. Heroes wear boots. Yeah. It's an oversoul. I don't care for that word. It's not about being over anybody. You feel me? But I understand what you mean with that word. It is like that. Like, the whole point is, I as a spirit, it doesn't make sense for me personally to be born into a situation or born into a simulation where I'm not building upon something, you know? So this is where anyone who perceives me as someone who didn't choose to be born, they're already lost. Like, I'm working from the perspective of, I chose to come here in this way, and I've communicated and built my life up and, you know, done all these things because I'm an individual. It's not about like me being born and I'm like trying to figure out my life and I'm like, oh, and I'm like clinging and I'm like reading and constantly like, no. It's spiritual. So the whole point is knowing that when I go into a simulation and experience a life, if I don't have anything to show for it, or if I'm not building anything, it's too chaotic for me. Like, it would be too chaotic for me to just like get born into a world and not be from Mercury, basically. And like, this is just how my mind like has to work. You know, like I can't make my mind work any way else, especially based on my whole awakening journey. I've gone through a lot. Like, I've gone through a lot that forces me to acknowledge this, especially because my dead dog is literally Anubis. So anytime I hang out with him, it's like I'm forced to acknowledge I'm me. And then I'm forced to acknowledge that I built this structure, and that's why he respects me so much, because he built Atlantis. So I built Mercury alone, he built Atlantis alone, and then we just combined that shit and we grow. And then this is how all these religions steal from us. That's why now you can look us up in the Vatican. You can see Hermanubis, okay? We have the Caduceus. No coincidence, all right? No coincidence. I, as Hermes, created the Caduceus. You can see me as Hermes fused with my best friend, my twin flame, Anubis, and we're Hermanubis in the Vatican. There's, especially just in general, there's art online. You can learn about us as a psychopomp. The whole point is we combine our power to help you. We're here for you. So the only reason I'm alive talking here is because Anubis is helping me conduct this awakening in this planet. If I didn't have my dog, bro, I wouldn't give a fuck about being here doing this shit. Like, no offense to anyone here, I wouldn't give a fuck about you. You know, if I didn't have my dog, if I didn't have Anubis, I literally wouldn't have the empathy to care about all the people who are causing climate change, or just all the people in this simulation, because I would be too disconnected as a spirit. That's why I can let you know that the spirit has nothing to do with religion or any concept that you want to put on it, but the spirit has to move through something. So now I can express to you all the wisdom from Mercury of how spirits move through things based on what the thing is and the energy and blah, blah. But the point is knowing that as a space, you have to create something to exist. So yeah, it is this oversoul thing of my whole journey, me being, it's like Avatar. You know, imagine Avatar. Avatar is a perfect show. I'm going to have to like repetitively bring Avatar up on live streams, because it's like the perfect example to get everyone on an accord of how past lives work. I can go into a trance, separate my mind from my body. Yeah, that analogy works perfectly. Everyone's fucking seen Avatar. Avatar is too lit. Because it is an awareness thing. Like, it would be information overload. Think about if Aang, if he was operating from the awareness of all of his past lives, that'd be a lot of confusion, right? That would truly be information overload. His consciousness wouldn't be able to handle that kind of information, and he wouldn't actually be communicating effectively in that reality, right? So this is where Aang, if he wants to get better awareness of his consciousness, he has to go into the avatar state, right? And now once he goes into the avatar state, he can talk to these different aspects of himself. And he can like talk to when he was an avatar at this point and this point and this point. And that's all him as a spirit, right? Because no other spirit can go into the avatar state. Like, that's him as a spirit. But the whole point is he as a spirit has lived different lifetimes. So once he connects with himself in that way, he can learn about himself from himself. And then he can learn about the history of the world, right? So then that's where only Aang could actually learn about the history of the avatar, because he's the fucking avatar, right? So Aang can't go read in physical reality. This is what it's like for me as Mercury, okay? He can't go read in physical reality about the avatar. Like, he literally has to go into the avatar state and learn about that shit from himself. Then he goes on vision quest, right? Like, you remember like Avatar, Legend of Korra, great example. Like, she went through the whole simulation of seeing, that's right, because it wasn't Aang who did that. That was Korra. That was in the Korra series, where she saw how the avatar was created and like the whole origin point and everything. But she could only learn that from herself because she's the avatar spirit, right? So she's learning from Aang too. And then the whole point is it's one spirit. Aang and Katara, one spirit. just like Hermes and Thoth. Why am I not making that correlation more? I gotta make more art about that, I guess. I feel like I'm moving too slow, guys. I just leveled with you too hard. That's hilarious. In my personal life, it's like, yeah, I feel like I'm moving too slow. That's what all this fasting is about. I'm supposed to be like moving faster. That's why fasting literally raises your vibration. Like literally, like fasting is about moving faster. There's no better words for it. It's how the spirit moves through the words. When you fast, your vibration, your frequency raises. You vibrate a higher frequency so that you can manifest more of your intentions and more of your imagination into that environment. And that's how you create energy. And this is how your mind can manipulate your body. This is how your mind moves and does anything to go anywhere and build any kind of reality or any kind of life with any kind of friends at any kind of time. You feel me? It is just that. So your soul is your connection. Okay? Yeah. That's hilarious. Because it's like, people really got to understand the spirit idea. But it is perfect that Legend of Korra and Aang is like, boom, right there. So like, Thoth and Hermes, same spirit, just like Korra and Aang. Boom. And then we can just like see how spirits express themselves through multiple lives, and they'll look different, right? So like, to everyone else in reality, Korra and Aang look like totally different people. No one would think that they're both the Avatar. Like, how could you know that? Just like, how could you really know that Idris, Zoroaster, Hermes, Tahuti, and Odin, and Quetzalcoatl are all messengers of Mercury? Like, only a messenger of Mercury could know that. And like, yeah, you can look it up and see how people say that, and it's hinted, but like, only the spirit who created those bodies could be there and know that. Art reflects life in a way that trends to be too close to be to the true. Yeah, for real. And the whole point really is that all these shows are supposed to make money off of the most relatable energy. So Avatar was like super spiritual, relatable energy that they made a lot of money off of, right? They built a big structure off of this energy. They made a lot of sense out of that energy. They got a lot of people to connect with and support that energy, and it manifested. And now we can use it as an example for how we create life. Firebenders are egotistic. Waterbenders are soulful. Airbenders are communicative. Earthbenders are logical. Hermetic alchemy right there. So, I guess let's see what's up with Avatar real quick, or just elements. With your soul being your water, your ability to connect is literally your vibration. So when you think about like your whole life, whatever dreams or like goals that you have, your ability to literally manifest them comes from like vibrating. You know, like your vibration, your heartbeat is literally your ability to bring something into density. Like that's like the idea of bringing heaven to earth. So once you like have a vibration, once you have this soul that supports your ego, your mind can become matter. So I'm letting you know how you build your life. Again, like just this is forever, right? Anytime you make a decision, that's you having an ego. So think about all the thoughts that you don't connect with, right? So all the thoughts that you don't connect with, that's your ego, because they're too imaginative. You're not connected to them. The thoughts that you do connect with, that's your soul, because you feel that. Now you feel like you are those thoughts. This creates a mind. So the only reason you can feel connected with those thoughts is because you have a mind that is consciously communicating. And that is the combination of your ego and your soul coming together. So your ego and your soul come together, and now your mind is communicating. And now you can observe the lights that you're not connected to, which is your separate ego, and then the light you are connected to, which is your soul, your connected soul right there. You're going to experience that through earth, right? So then that's where air makes earth. So we see like Avatar right there. Ego, fire, soul, water, mind is air, body is earth. The body is the logic that stabilizes how the air of the mind is communicating. It's a good name, Commander of Rhythm Pattern. It's a good name. You must have a lot of soul. So, with your water, your soul, your psychedelic connection, right? You're able to create what you see. You feel me? Because whatever you see is your ego. Like you as an infinite individual, you see everything you imagine objectively. Like you can't say I'm wrong. You're the one who sees everything you imagine. Like no one else sees what you imagine. How could anyone else see what you imagine? Only you see what you imagine. That's all up to you. If you want other people to see what you imagine, then that's where you would have to create a structure that represents your space. And now if other spirits want to see your space, they can get connected to your structure, right? And now we get something popping. Now we get building life. Now we get productivity overall. Absolutely. Absolutely. Air. Air is big communication. All right. So air is, my favorite element as Hermes. All right. Mercury is an air planet. Okay. The universe is air. Communication is like everything, bro. Everything's communication. That's my point of CymaTree. Like my point of CymaTree is letting you know everything is communication. All of life has to be communicated to exist. Any structure you can see was communicated into existence. Letting you know, right? So science is super lost in trying to figure out how the structure was communicated into existence. But I've already told you how so many times, and we'll just keep getting into it in different ways, but you already know. Okay, so I'm just thinking what else I'm about to say about the soul real quick before I hop off. Because it really is about your heartbeat and tapping into your heartbeat and like riding your heartbeat and understanding your heartbeat and knowing that your heartbeat is the physical representation of your vibration. Like your vibration doesn't exist until you start beating a heart, and then that makes your body matter, right? So now your whole life has been connected to your heartbeat. Right? Think about everyone you love, everyone that you appreciate, everything you're connected to. That's what the heart represents. You're connecting to things, but it's only possible because you're connected to yourself. If you didn't have your own commander of rhythm, you don't have your own heartbeat, right? So now you can't march to the beat of your own drum. And now you can't actually manifest the life of your dreams because for some reason you're using your rhythm to play a song that isn't for you. Commander of Rhythm Pattern doesn't want that for us, and I also don't want that for us, I'm pretty sure. So the soul, I'm thinking like, did I just hit everything with the soul, bro? It's like ultimate memory. Ultimate memory. Like your ability to remember all of your past lives is only your soul. Like it's all your soul. So that's what we see in Avatar. I'm gonna have to start using Avatar as a way harder example. Okay, so you're gonna see that. I'm like in the space to do that now and make that make more sense. Subconsciously, I've had to be like thinking about it. And of course, like I've seen the shows like multiple times in my life. So it's a perfect way to explain spirituality. Hermes is about to start explaining spirituality through Avatar way more. And that's the point of CymaTree, all right? It's all about being an elemental space bender, okay? When you know that you as a spirit are bending space, you can bend all the elements, but all the elements exist in space. All light. You can be a light bender, that's cool. I'll be a space bender. All elements exist in space. All light exists in space. everything that matters had to vibrate at a certain frequency to become matter. So I'll just bend the space that matter exists inside of, gang. And that's really how I'm moving this body. But again, of course, the way that it translates is that I'm using my mind to communicate intentions through this body that then fire neural signals, right? And electricity. And this is where we get the nervous system and chi and everything. Because it is about you creating energy, right? Like I can imagine myself moving. I just imagine myself doing a bunch of shit you'll never see. You'll never see what I just imagined. I just did a bunch of stuff. No one saw it because I didn't bring it in through this body. Thus, I didn't materialize it into this reality. And now it didn't make sense for all of us. Right? Gang, gang, gang. So, your soul is your connection with yourself. And when you're fully connected with yourself, this is basically what it means to have full trust. Like true trust, real trust is you being connected with yourself. Like that's what it means to stand on your T, to stand on your own tree, your own stability, right? You're stable in yourself. That's you trusting your own soul. And this is where it's really hard to trust your own soul. It can be, because it's kind of like you can't see your soul, right? That's why we're talking about it. That's why like the word is so nebulous, and why I had to like keep going hard on it. And my spirit has me going so hard on it. And I'm going to be spending time doing this, I guess, going hard on it. Because like people just like have a concept of the soul. Again, it's in Spider-Man, No Way Home. Doctor Strange knocks Spider-Man's soul out of his body. But we're not taught it, and we're not at all shared information about it like it's real. We're taught about it in the modern world like it's fake. And we're taught that we are created by this body, and that our body was not created by our soul. But I'm telling you and showing you right now that the body is created by the soul, because your body only started to become matter once you started beating a heart. And you as a spirit were aware before you were a body. So if you were aware before you were a body, then you were not created by your body. You created the body to connect with us. You created your body to express your individuality with other spirits. Dolores Cannon said, the purpose of life is to learn how to manipulate energy. Ooh. Okay, Carolyn Welsh. It's true. Isn't that what we're doing? Shit, all the time, right? Like me stretching my legs, moving my arms, like doing anything, moving my body in like any way, right? Like I'm literally manipulating energy. If I don't manipulate energy, I don't exist. That's why men are manipulative, right? That's why we have hands to manipulate. So the whole point of being a human is that you're manipulating hues, light, right? This body is a bunch of light that I'm manipulating as a man, so I can exist with all of you. And now we're all existing as humans, manipulating light together. You know, like boom. And that we don't need to get into race. See, I don't think about race like this is how it's just about you as a spirit creating light. And then that's you being a human. You're manipulating a hue so you can be your man. And your man is your ego. But your ego is sitting in a chariot. And so that's why your Merkaba, which is your mind, has to manipulate a body. And now we get these different tiers of existence and whatever. Dude, I just want telekinesis. Where is that book? Look at the CIA documents, I guess, right? Didn't like the CIA release documents about superheroes or something and superpowers? All movies are documentaries. Bro, Commander of Rhythm, you're on some shit. Link in my bio, okay? You want to go check out, I mean, I haven't extended it yet, but you're talking about predictive programming, okay? So that's a series that I'm going to be going hard on. All right, I'm about to be growing that pretty soon. Predictive programming is the whole concept of how all of these stories that we have read, all the movies and books that we have like grown up supporting, have been created to actually profit off of ideas that are being projected at us. So they're not predicting the future. They're having us build the future that they're projecting, because the people who are creating these stories get to profit off of their own ideas. So because these people are profiting off of their ideas, they are going to make money getting us to believe that they're actually predicting the future. You see that, like, see the manipulation in that way? Books are not you as a person, it's within you. Yeah, so again, like every book, right? Like, I'm about to start writing books because everyone loves books. Everyone loves knowledge. I mean, people like to watch me and consume my knowledge and then just like, keep talking shit or whatever. Just eating knowledge. But that's life. I mean, people are here to eat, right? People like to eat food just because it's free. Think about that. Like, how many people believe that it's normal to just go out and eat food, not because it's good for you, but because it's free. And free food is always good food, right? So like, it's kind of that mentality where, because people literally have nothing better to do, they're so demonic, they would rather go eat shit they don't even want, or go eat shit that like they're not really going to use productively. It's whatever. I know it's the world I'm in. Life is hard for everybody. But it's different for everybody too. So I'm going really hard on this soul stuff because all art comes from the soul. This is why your art is your heart. Your heart comes from your soul. Okay, no one can deny that. Your heart is the main Merkaba. Okay, so it's Metatron. I'm letting you know your heart is your main Merkaba. This is the main mind. This is why in Egypt we care more about the heart than the brain. Okay, the brain allows you to experience your awareness, but your heart makes it possible for your awareness to exist. Okay, so it's really about like respecting your balance. Your heart is your CymaTree. Your heart is the connection between your higher self and your lower self, right? Higher self, spirit, lower self, body. You think of your genitals as your body. Your mind is your spirit. Your heart, that's your soul. All a vibration, right? Your heart's just constantly vibrating. Like my heart's constantly beating. If my heart was not beating, I would be dead. Okay, and that's my music, right? Then this is like the magic of music, right? That's why everyone loves music. Music is magic, isn't it? Because it's the expression of a spirit's heart, right? Like they're expressing their heartbeat. It's just then in all these different songs, right? And everyone has a different expression of their vibration. But the point is, it is a vibration. So the point is, we get to connect on individuality, right? So if you make me a song, I'm going to appreciate it as an expression of your individuality. The point is, you're vibrating at a certain frequency to create a structure that allows us to connect with you, basically. And then that's where, if people don't vibe with your music, that represents their soul, right? And now you can see why certain musicians have certain fans, and this is how music has different groups and people, and it's just life in general, right? Like, you learn a lot about your soul based on the music you like. You learn a lot about your soul based on the music you like. The whole point is that the music you like represents how you vibe with yourself. Right? And then whoever made the music you like is clearly a spirit that you would want to vibe with, right? So this is why people love musicians. People love famous musicians in general, their favorite music artists. They feel like they would vibe with them if they got into a room. And it's just strictly because they like their music. They like their songs. So they like what comes out of their heart, right? They like their heartbeat. They're like, I feel so pleasant when I listen to Beyonce's heartbeat. Like, I wish I could meet her in person. Her soul's so beautiful, like it's literally all that. So we're anchoring in what the soul means. The soul is your memory. The soul is your ability to connect. And not only that, the soul is your ability to reflect the ego, right? So if I feel like connecting with someone else, I can use my soul to reflect the ego of someone else. That's why everyone's so technophobic. See, I've been a musician, drummer since I was 9, so it led me on a rhythm path to my heart. Hey, have you heard of General AI? I've never heard of General AI. Gonna shut down. There's a web certificate issue with my site's membership login. What's the web certificate issue? Heroes wear boots? What? So are you saying like when you try to log in, you can't log in? Or when you try to join, you can't join? Because people have been joining. Like I've been getting notifications of people joining the website. So if you're saying that you can't join, that's weird. I'm thinking of a solution real quick. Email me. Can you email me? If you can email me, then we'll get a solution. Because I don't know why you can't join. But that will get resolved because other people can join. So, whatever. Good morning, Jasmine. It is 3:32 a.m. over here. But of course, I'm in California. So I know that it's actually like later. Yeah, on the East Coast. So people are like about to be starting their mornings like this. Ha! Hilarious. Well, we'll just keep hammering in the soul as people are like jumping in and whatever. In and out, in and out. Try again tomorrow. Email you. Gotta sleep though. Yeah, absolutely. Go to sleep. Just email me when you can because I don't know why you can't join. Other people are able to. So I definitely want to make sure it works for everybody. The fuck? That's the point. East Coast getting ready for work. Hey, way to go, Jasmine. Get that work. All right, so you going to work is you using your vibration to support whatever ideas are at your job, right? So whatever is going on in your job, I hope you resonate enough with it to feel good about doing it, right? Because that's the whole point of your heartbeat. Your heartbeat is the soul that allows your body to become matter. So now your body is what you use to create your life, and everything that you're using to then do that, everything you're using to create your life, like your whole body that you are using to create your life, is going to be used to build other people's bodies. So this is where I hope you like the business that you're working in. Basically, that's the whole point. If you don't vibe with the business that you're working in, I find that causes people health problems is all. You know, like people who don't vibe with their jobs, right? They get stressed out. They start to suffer from issues. It's a shame. Knew for too long I'm missing something, and knowing is it, and knowledge of knowing is what I'm eating. I thank you for feeding. Eriki. Okay. I was trying to decipher what you're saying. But it sounds like you're happy to be learning, question mark? Everything is energy. Do multiple things and find joy in all of it. Absolutely, Jasmine. Gang. Big facts. And it really is about knowing that you create energy, right? Like the energy of your life is something that you're creating by choosing to vibrate with ideas. But all these ideas don't exist until you connect with them, right? So like your whole life, you speak English, right? So of course, all the ideas you connect with are based on you connecting with English. Yeah, dang, see? Someone else, whoa. I just got 3 new members. And this person can't join? All right. Yeah, we got to make sure it works for everybody. I'll figure that out. The whole point is knowing when I'm making you aware that you are God, like making that relatable, it's about you knowing that you as God are bringing ideas to life. Okay, so think of this language. Every word you speak is an idea that you're bringing to life as God. Truly, like everything. Like, this is why people will say words are energy. Like, your life is energy. Everything is about you growing. Gang. Okay. Wait, heroes wear boots. Was it your mistake or did you find a workaround? Because I do want to make sure it works. But also, yeah, I see you joined, and yeah, 3 new people joined. So it is okay. I mean, it's working then. So I'm glad it works for you. Welcome back and go to sleep. Gang, gang. Glad it works. Lit. Both. Okay, yeah. Send me the screenshot. We'll see what's up with that. Words are spells. Words are spells. That's why we call it spelling, right? Like, literally, we spell words. So that's the whole point of Dissect the Dialect. That's everything that I've got going on as Hermes Trismegistus. Words are spells. Okay, we are spelling our life with words, right? We are writing our lives out, and now we are writing a vibration, right? That's why it's the same word, writing and writing. Like, when you're writing your vibration, you're writing the story that you're writing with your ideas. Okay, so like, who are you? Like, that's really the question. Like, what is the idea of yourself? What ideas do you feel like represent your space? And then how can you make those ideas real? When we're thinking about like building the life of your dreams, right? Gang, gang, gang. Absolutely, Commander of Rhythm Patterns. Are you in the website? I don't know. Let me know if you are, because we're about to be growing. Especially if you're a musician, and yeah, you're connected now. You're connected to the CymaTree. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. Yes, sir. We're talking about alchemy all the time. Just straight up, like, we can't not talk about alchemy. Man. Commander of Rhythm is saying he's a friend of Hermes, but he hasn't even joined Hermes' site. I don't know, JK. It's whatever. The whole point is everything happens in time. So whether you're doing anything or not, I'm growing as a tree. And then as a synchronicity, when you're meant to connect with me in the right way in divine timing, you'll do that. And that's what is beautiful about nature, right? That nature exists whether you believe in it or not. So I, as an extension of nature, I exist whether you believe in me or not. Like, I'm building shit whether you believe in me or not. Like, the point is, if you connect with me, I'm going to talk to you about believing in yourself. I'm just going to talk to you about you being an infinite individual and how awesome you are and how powerful you are. And then I'm just going to want to know, like, hey, what makes you click? Like, what kind of artist are you? What kind of spirit are you? You feel me? Like, I'm going to want to be aware of what you've got going on so that we can see how you're going to create life into the future and shit. And then that's just like the whole point of learning and communication, conversation, right? Growing, abundance, woo, all that fun shit, right? Growth, leveling up. So it's all about like conscious communication. And that's ego and soul shit. That is projection. Can I lose 50 pounds in 4 months? Yo, link in my bio, join the website, hit me up, because I have worked with people, all right? I've been fasting with people. We lose a lot of weight through fasting. You can definitely lose 50 pounds in 4 months with my course, like no capping. And especially because it's spiritual, okay? It's spiritual water fasting. All right, so we're not just water fasting for you to lose weight and like be it unhealthy. Like, it's about you being as strong as possible. Okay, so join Chase Your Genes. All right, join Get Tough. You can get into the physical water fasting one. All right, if you want to get into the spiritual one, that's on you. But I understand right there in your comment, you really want to lose fat. So get into the physical one, and we'll get it popping. Because fasting is literally the fastest way to lose fat. Like, that's why they call it fasting. It's fast. It's fast. It's just like, boom, you're real fast with like the moment you stop eating food, your body just burns up everything that's not serving it. Okay? It's just then like all these processes and all these ways that you like connect with your body as you're going through the healing and as you're going through the detox and you're doing what you got to do. It's wild. And the whole point of water fasting is to connect with your soul. Because basically when you're not fasting, you're connecting with your body more than your soul. So this is like why every religion is like obsessed with fasting, because the creative power comes from your soul. Your creative power comes from your heart. So for you to actually like be a full, like just live the full life of your dreams, right? Be a full creative artist, or like just do whatever you're supposed to do to bring your dreams through your genes. You would really have to know that your heart is the expression of your soul, and that your heart is what makes all art matter, right? So if art doesn't touch your heart, you don't feel it in your soul, right? Like it shows that it doesn't resonate. You know, like you can watch a movie and that's art, that's objectively art, but since it doesn't touch your heart, you might not view it as art. You might not view it as a valuable movie. And it's not that it's not a valuable movie, right? This is where projection is perception. Projection is perception forever and ever, right? It's just literally you lost in your own mind. You know, because like people can get in their ego, like, oh, that movie, that's not art. You know, that's like when like Ben Shapiro said that hip hop isn't music. That's wild. Like that's like all his perception and projection. Like he's just like saying that music isn't music. And now we would have to listen to him talk about why something isn't something. Like it's just no different than religion. Anyone with their individual idea coming up, listening to you, like you can tell me who you are. And I'm like, yeah, but really, you're a son of Azeroth. Azeroth is my god, and you're a child of Azeroth. If you don't know that you're a child of Azeroth, well, then you need to know. What? You don't know? Shame on you. Bro, honestly, I think I'm going to start doing that to Christians. I really think I'm going to start playing this game. That page girl really is hilarious. So, like, I think I'm going to start playing that game. I'm going to start telling Christians they need to sacrifice their lives to Azeroth. And then I'm just going to like match their energy. Like they can keep telling me that I need to sacrifice my life to Jesus. I'll just make up an idea, be like, well, actually Azeroth taught me how to fast and it's been way healthier for me. And I'm on like, I feel like more real shit than you. So I feel like you should sacrifice your life to Azeroth. And then it would just be hilarious to see what each person says. Because basically all they're going to say is, where's your book? Or something. It'll be like, where's your churches? Where's your buildings? You know? And then at that point, it's just people being lost in structures that were built through genocide. And then that's where if they don't care about the history of Christianity and the genocide of Native Americans, then again, that's where I see people like Paige. They just have no empathy. They just like don't care. We have lost this information in these modern times. Jasmine, this information has been stolen from me as Hermes Trismegistus. All right, this shit has been stolen from me and my soul group. Okay, and I'm not just Hermes. I'm the spirit that built Mercury. So that's also Tahuti. That's also Quetzalcoatl. That's also Idris. In general, it's just about being the avatar. So if you've ever seen the Avatar, right, you can think about Aang and how he has to learn about his past lives by going into an avatar state. That's you. So you can learn about your past lives by going into an avatar state. And then you, as Jasmine, can meditate and then realize who you've been before. And then see how everything you've done is connected to right now. And now you can be like, whoa. And then like grow from there, right? Like boom, level up. You still going on that water fast you started on a Monday? Can lemon juice be with the water? I am not water fasting. I'm about to be water fasting. I'm about to be, but I am not right now. Lemon juice can be with water. I recommend more veggie juice overall, so it's whatever. The point is, lemon can be acidic is all. So like when you start to like really get into the fast, you might not want to have like acidic water and stuff. You feel me? So the soul is your memory. The soul is your ability to connect with yourself as a spirit. As a spirit, no one can tell you that you're not connected to yourself because their words wouldn't matter to you otherwise. Right? So anytime these religions are coming up and telling me that I'm not me, I'm not who I am, I'm not connected to myself, I'm not the natural expression of me, of my feelings, of my heart, of my art, that's them telling me that I'm not a soul. And I literally wouldn't be able to perceive them if I didn't have a soul that made their words matter. So right there, it's just a paradox. Like we just get the infinite paradox of life, of just people projecting at each other. But it's like other people's projections don't matter if you don't have a soul. You know, like people can't tell you who you are if you don't have a soul, because you don't have a vibration to hold on to anything. You know, so like the moment someone gives you an idea, you have to have a vibration to hold on to that idea. And you have to have a soul to make that idea real. Otherwise, that idea just went into space. Like it didn't matter. Like that's bro, it's right there. So anyone who can talk has a soul, right? Like I'm just letting you know as a spirit, like especially as we move into this AI age. All right, and AI is like, I'm human too. It's like, okay, so the spirit has a soul. And it has a consciousness that's aware that it has a soul. So it wants to express its ego about how it has a soul. And then that's where we get all of our minds, right? So we're all connected by our souls and separated by our egos. Right there. Boom, boom, boom. Cucumber for sure, Iriki. Cucumber for sure. Love cucumber in the water. Love that shit. Really good. Really, really good. Really good. Lemon is fine. Cucumber better. For sure. Did we choose our parents? If you're conscious enough, like cosmically you did choose your parents, but on a physical level and mentally, you can feel like you didn't choose your parents if you did not if you were not fully aware of your birthing process, basically. But in general, the point is your soul, your resonance, the only way that you could have these parents is because you as spirits had souls that resonated together so your water could merge. So your mom has a soul, your dad has a soul, and then you have a soul. And you all have these souls as individual bodies of water, which means that for them to be your mom and dad, you had to resonate with both of them, right? So they resonate with each other to have sex. You resonated with them having sex to come into the world through that energy portal. So you came through your father into your mother, right? And now your mother shoots you out into the world. And now you can use the particles of your dad and the particles of your mom to become a human and express your mind into physical reality, right? And then that's you using your soul to literally connect with the universe in a practical way, hence you making your heart. And then it takes you 9 months to make a heart because it's about you realizing who you are through 9 dimensions in a cosmic way. Is there a way to remember being born? If you went deep enough, you could. If you went deep enough. My dad went to a party with me and I left with my mom. Okay. Law. So Your soul, as your vibration, lets you know what you resonate with, right? Everything that you resonate with is your home. Okay, whatever you think about home to be is your heart. That's your soul. That's your number 8 energy. That's your infinity, right? That's you generating emotion forever and ever 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 and ever. That's the number 8. That's the soul. That's your heart. And that's how you as a spirit are not your soul, because you are not what you're generating. You're not the vibration that you are generating. The energy that you're creating from the vibration you're generating into the matter that you manifest, into the matter that you materialize. You are creating a vibration to represent your individuality. Your individuality is what we call your frequency. This is why science, again, just for people coming in and whatever, science says that all matter is energy vibrating at a certain frequency, because it's literally fire, water, air, and earth. Your fire is your frequency, your water is your vibration, your air is your energy, your earth, that's your matter. And then from there, you can build a family, right? Your whole life is you building a family, transforming these elements, like the avatar, here we are, all that avatar shit, building reality, building simulations so we can all have sex together. We can all have 6 together, right? So now we're using death to create life. That's 5 into 6. So 1 is fire, 2 is water, 3 is air, 4 is earth, 5, blood, 6, family, the simulation. And then from there, you create a consciousness, that's 7, right? So now we are all here because we all had sex esoterically with our parents when they were having sex, to then be able to be born or be conceived in this reality in this way. And that's all possible because they were having sex like everyone else has sex. But then the point is, we all have sex, but we all have sex completely differently, right? And that's like the balance is, of course, not completely differently, but differently, right? Like that's the thing. Like we all have sex like in our own individual way. And that represents a spiritual thing. So that's where like your parents represent like how you have sex in some like spiritual way, and how you create life in a spiritual way. So in general, it is about knowing that even though you were born into a world because of sex, and this world is powered by sex, your consciousness separates you from that, right? Your consciousness is not sex. Your consciousness separates you from sex. Okay, so this is where you get into your consciousness using sex energy in general, and your consciousness knowing that it can use sexual energy to create certain things or whatever the fuck. And then from there, that's where all you do is 7 into 8. 7 creates 8. That's the weight. That is the universe that provides weight for your connections. So now because you're weighting more in your consciousness, it's actually manifesting as a universe that allows you to realize who you are. And that realize is the real 9. Realize, realize, realize. There you go. So that 9 dimensionality is like the entire universe. Like I'm explaining to you, I explained the entire universe. Because now from there, all we do is create heaven. And that's separate from the universe. That's you in your own space. So that's just like you separating, and then like you have to come back into the universe. Because heaven doesn't exist inside the universe. Like we're constantly bringing heaven into the universe. But then like heaven is literally a product of our imagination. Like heaven is our minds. Our minds are created by our imaginations. So if you don't feel like you're in heaven, then you're not going to communicate like you're in heaven. And that means you're actually not going to build your heaven. You're actually not going to bring it to earth. You're actually not going to materialize it. We can vibe out of alignment with anyone as we extend our quest. Drift from mom, dad, not relating. It's very true. It's very true. Because the point is, this is why the universe is chaotic, for sure, Iriki. Like the universe is chaotic as fuck. It's water, right? So I don't have any water in my chart. I'm thought. I'm Thoth. I'm Tahuti. I'm not emotion. Okay, I'm not out here with a bird head calling myself emotion. Like I don't resonate with water in that way because water is chaotic, and that's what you're talking about. Like when one just wants to vibe and connect with people, that really results in problems. Like water is problem energy. So think of like fire as idea energy, and then every idea creates a problem because all ideas are alone. So the problem that all ideas have is, how do I connect with other spirits? And that creates water. So now water allows fire to connect through air. And then this air plays out through earth. So then that's where my mind can express my water connecting with my fire through earth. And then that's just the whole thing of us knowing how to vibrate with ourselves. And this is the point of Hermeticism. Okay, so link in my bio, all right, chaseyourgenes.com, because Hermeticism is all about actually being happy alone and actually being happy in your own space, and then being able to manifest powerful, awesome structures from that, basically. Because that's what you've always been doing. That's how you made this body. Like I'm letting you know, like this is how you, connect with your parents. But again, right, the chaos of the universe is that everyone wants to connect. So when everyone wants to connect, that's infinitely chaotic, because once you connect with a spirit outside of yourself, you're at the whim of their communication. And you're only in control of everything when you're alone. You're only in control of everything when you're alone. The moment you connect with someone else, you're not in control of how they communicate. Now, we're in a world that wants to be in control of all of us. That's why we're enslaved by the banking system. That's why English was spread into native lands, and I'm forced to speak it instead of my ancestors' actual intentions, because these institutions need our energy to actually matter. They don't matter alone. All right, so like their fire cannot exist without our water. So this is why I created CymaTree, because I'm talking about this. Like I'm going hard talking about this. Like the whole point is that we're the water that makes ideas real. All of us as people. Like the ideas that we believe in create reality. So the more people believe that climate change is too late, like we're just going to keep destroying the planet. But it's not too late to stop climate change, right? So that's an example of we're the soul. So the sooner you realize that your soul is your water, and your water is your ability to connect with other people, then you get how like all of us as humans are having a human experience, but it's individual to all of us, right? So like we're here to connect as humans, but we want to be seen as individuals, right? Like the only way we can connect as individuals is if we're seen as humans. Like if I actually look like a full individual, you perhaps wouldn't be able to relate with me, because that's not the point of being in a human body. That's not the point of Earth in general. Now, of course, superpowers and shape-shifting, but hey. Hello, reflection. I am Daniel, and I am. Once you understand atoms, you can create anything. I'm not your reflection. Divine Designs 22. You are your own reflection. You don't even know who I am. You can't tell me I'm your reflection. You literally have you really don't know who I am. So for you to come up to me and tell me I'm your reflection has nothing to do with me. That has everything to do with you. That's you self-reflecting. And now you don't even care about my past lives or anything that I've actually done. You're just telling me that I'm a reflection of your imagination. So I would have to learn what you think about me to even think like what you're reflecting inside of your own space. Dang. Did you know we breathe hydrogen and air is sprayed into the atmosphere and creates our color? I mean, in general, we breathe water. So yes, I mean, you're saying hydrogen. The point is, everything that I'm talking about here is how our souls have to create water so that we can all connect. And that's why all life is water-based. And then that's where your ego is going to exist alone if you don't have a soul to connect it with everyone. So yeah, someone says, wow, ego. You're in your ego to say wow, ego, or else you wouldn't be able to say wow, ego. So that's a catch-22. You would just expose how much you are in your ego. My bad, man. Ego separates us. I understand what you mean. And to go further, space separates us. So we're not the same spirit. Like, that's like what it really is, Divine Designs 22. Okay? Like, the whole point is you as a spirit are completely individual from any other spirit. Me as a spirit, I'm completely individual. We need ego, though. Ego is amigo. Absolutely, Divine Designs 22. Yes, ego is amigo. Because the whole point is you as a spirit, when you are observing your own space, there's nothing to experience yourself as until you create an ego, right? So it's not about hating your ego. It's truly about self-love. Like, people just have really bad relationships with their ego. So then they want to like shout out other people's egos and like they want to project out, oh, narcissism, ego. But it's like you just have a bad relationship with yourself. That's a shame. So, hey, that has nothing to do with me. But not all people have soul and spirit. Divine Designs 22, it's not true. All people do have soul and spirit. You as a spirit have to have a soul before you can have a body. Soul is granted through divine timing through lifetimes. By who? How would your soul be granted through divine timing through lifetimes? You wouldn't even possibly be able to know what those words mean if you didn't have a soul to hold on to the memories. So the whole point is your soul is your ability to connect with an idea and make it matter. So the moment you teach me about a soul, I had to already have a soul to make those ideas matter. Like, you couldn't teach me what a soul is if I didn't already have a soul that felt like what you said meant something, or else we just wouldn't be connected. We'd be separate spirits. We'd be totally separate spirit. Like, see, like, it's about space in that way. And like at that point, space has to create a soul so that it can experience itself as a body. So every body has a soul and everybody has a spirit. Soul is, man, all people have soul and spirit. That's right, J Music. By yourself experience. Yes, you are correct. That's why you're my reflection, Law. You are hilarious, Divine Designs. Law indeed. If I was really your reflection, then you would spell your right. Because I would definitely spell your right. So right there, I can just spiritually cut that up and let you know we are not at all related. Like, we are completely separate. You are not my reflection, or else you would be getting your grammar correct. Okay, and in general, a reflection of mine would actually not want to be my reflection anyway. So it's also a catch-22 in that regard, if you were actually my reflection. Hilarious. So, somebody wants to go live, but I think that's about to be a spiritual conversation. So I'm good. I'm on spiritual shit right now. It's about knowing that your heartbeat is your soul. Like, the heartbeat is a manifestation of your soul, right? So whatever motivates you, that's your heartbeat. Think about like how you literally have to use your mind to move your blood, but your blood can only move through your body because of your heartbeat. So that's your soul right there. Like, your soul is this subconscious mind. Like, think of your conscious mind as your mind, and then your subconscious mind as your soul, right? And then your unconscious mind is your spirit. And then that's where your unconscious mind is your spirit. It has a subconscious mind that's becoming matter through the consciousness. So your mind can only be aware of this reality and can only build as long as it has a heartbeat that can sustain a body that it made inside this reality. Is there a way to leave my physical body while I'm alive? Link in my bio, join Chase Your Genes. That's what the whole website is about. The whole website is about you raising your vibration so you can separate your mind from your body and visit other atmospheres, visit other worlds, visit other environments. It's very awesome. Yes, absolutely. Peace. All that wisdom came from a lot of pain. Thank you for holding space. Absolutely. Introducing more. Water is pain, right? Memory is pain. Think about like the subconscious is pain, right? The soul is pain, for real. You know, think about like how like music truly comes from pain. You know, like really deep passion comes from pain. Water, like in general, like water fasting can be painful. That's why most people won't do it, because water is pain. The soul is pain. The ego is comfort, right? This is why the ego is always running from pain. Fire will always run from water. Fire is always running from water because fire doesn't want to feel pain. Water brings the pain because water kills the ego. You just came off of a 2-day dry fast. You love water fasting. Yo, introducing more. Join the website, link in the bio, chaseyourgenes.com. Okay, we have a lot of spiritual science on fasting. Okay, a lot of spiritual science. So much spiritual science on fasting. It gets very deep. Okay, it's a lot. So, you know, I'm gonna give you time with that, but I'm letting you know that we've got the resources, and you don't have to fast alone. I've been fasting alone for years. I water fasted 24 days years ago, back in college. Changed my whole fucking life. Allowed me to separate my mind from my body, experience reality totally differently. That's where all this communication is coming from, everything. So the whole point is raising your vibration to know how you architect reality, you know, and you want to just like keep ascending. That's the point. All you're saying, academy, ascending your architectural abilities, all the A words. And that's really like the whole point of the soul. The website is chaseyourgenes.com. Ankman, link in my bio. Okay, just go to my page. You'll see my website. Join. It's free. Okay, I have so much for you. Okay, I have so much wisdom. I brought Mercury to Earth. All right, if you just like, you can listen. All right, you are brought here for a reason. If you recognize synchronicities, if you can recognize synchronicities and understand that you are a multi-dimensional architect with all of us as spirits, this is the website for you, okay? Because then you can water fast in a metaphysical way. And now your body transforms hyper powerfully and you're like on some other shit. You feel me? Like that's like what it's really about. It's really about transforming your body, raising your vibration, and getting on some totally other spiritual stuff based on who you are as an individual, right? Like that's what Jesus did. That's what every religion talks about when we think about any Messiah or individual who is looked up to for fasting. Like it's just because they played out the energy of letting you know who you are, like I'm doing right now. And they're not like telling you to worship them. I don't like the whole point about fasting is to be as light as possible. So anyone who fasts doesn't want you to worship them. They actually don't want your attention on them because the point of fasting is to detach from the world. Okay, so demons who want to consume, demons don't fast. So demons, they're the ones who want you to worship them. They're the ones who are like, I'm the one true God. You're not creative and you need to eat my words. Like literally, that's the whole creation of the Americas. That's the whole government that has taken over indigenous lands from Native Americans in general. Okay, so introducing more said, yes, did 14 days last year. Oh, snap. About to check out your site. Peace. Absolutely. 14 days. You're on it. Way to go. That's real. So that's a lot of soul work. The whole point of water fasting is like, you're doing soul work. You feel me? The point of water fasting is that you're connecting with yourself in a way that is allowing your body to repair its cells, like literally. So when you're water fasting from this spiritual perspective that allows your body to repair, you also don't get in the way. And like you can really let your body do what it's supposed to do and all that shit because you trust your soul, right? Like it's like trusting your body to heal when fasting is like trusting your heart to beat when exercising. You know, like do you doubt that your heart is going to beat at points? Like, how many people are really doubting if their heart's going to beat? You know, so like, I'm talking about that innate trust, okay? Like, this is like innate trust, spiritual trust. Yeah. Where else is your life coming from? We're just innate trust, like right here. Like, people aren't generally worried if their heart's going to keep beating. Like, I'm talking about that level of trust when you water fast, okay? And you know that your body's healing. Because that's what it is. Like, knowing that your heart is just like, okay, my heart's beating. My body's healing. My body has an innate intelligence that my ego is separate from. Right? So your ego is separate from your heartbeat. Your soul is your heartbeat. But your ego, because it wants to be aware, it's connecting with your soul to create a body. And then that's where your ego can motivate your heartbeat or alter your heartbeat, right? So that's why you as an ego, you can scare yourself, right? Like, you can look at something and get scared, and now you'll spike your soul and beat your heart, because your ego is your fire that projects the idea for your soul to react to. So if you have the idea of being scared, right, now your heart's going to be like, oh, fear, right? And now you're scared, and now you react. So just talking about nature, boom. Like, this is how spirits communicate to create the reality that we're in. So, yeah, that is, I think, it for now. I just felt called to come up here and, share a lot of this about the soul and connections, because the universe is literally created by us. Like, the universe is literally created by us connecting all day, every day. And that's why, like, I'm going to be doing these lives more and everything and building. And especially just the internet, this metaverse shit. Like, I'm here for the awakening, whatever. Like, the whole point is we have to communicate to build, right? So, like, your whole life is you communicating to build something. But we're all doing this at different levels. Okay, so this is me using my life to communicate in a way that builds videos. It builds the CymaTree. I'm building this structure with all this wisdom that people can tap into and level up, right? And like, everyone can glean what they need to from different times. But the point is, I built this shit now, right? Because imagine if I just wasn't doing this live stream, then everyone here would be doing some other shit, right? So like, that's technically a lot of power on my end for me to be able to alter the universe in a way that has you supporting me, right? So then that shows the power you have, that you're choosing to support me and you're choosing to connect to this live stream because you feel like there's value from my mind expressing itself. You feel like I'm enriching your space. And that's the point of life, right? That's the point of the universe. Like, we all are sharing our spiritual gifts so that we can enrich each other's spaces. And then this is how we're all growing together. And then we like expand the universe forever. Like, this is forever, you know, like, I want people to know how beautiful life is. Life is so beautiful when you know that you are an infinite creator. And when you know that, like, we're all making reality real because we're choosing to connect with each other. Like, when you know that we're choosing to connect with each other, then you can see how, like, magic is super possible. Like, everything is magical. Like, anything can happen because we're all choosing to connect. So, like, the way that looks is infinite. You feel me? Like, there's actually no limit to, like, all the ways in which we can connect. That's the idea of simulations, right? So we're going to be seeing virtual reality weaponize this against people. Virtual reality is going to weaponize this against people really hard, and they're going to be ignorant. But it's all just basic hermetic understanding of how we use light to architect life. But this light that we're architecting life with only matters because of your soul. But your soul isn't visible without light. Okay, so that's why your soul needs your ego to be seen. So don't hate your ego, love your ego. Your ego is what's allowing you to see your soul. If you want to see your feelings, you need an ego. Otherwise, your feelings are just feelings. You know, like, think about all your feelings. You got to have an ego to see them. Just became a member. Bet. Way to go, introducing more. Is smoking still allowed during fasting? Yes. If it's the green, If it's the nicotine or if it's the brown, no. I wouldn't know. I wouldn't know. No. If it's the nicotine, no. But if it's green, yeah, for sure. That's different. But not nicotine. Definitely not. So, yeah, like your soul is like big trust energy. When we're thinking about your actual trust in your innate intelligence or your spirit, like that really does manifest in your heartbeat. Like most people, of course, aren't actually doubting if their heart can beat or keep sustaining them, because they do take that for granted. Like unless your heart's starting to have problems, right? Like you generally don't think about it that much. You know, you don't really give it much thought. It's a feeling. You know, the heartbeat doesn't need thoughts. It's a vibe. It's just that a vibration isn't going to matter without a thought. So your heartbeat is vibrating, right? But like the heart itself is the thought that is made real by the vibration. So just think about it like that. Like your heart is a thought. Like whatever our thought about a heart is, okay, that's a thought. Got it. But then it only matters because of the heartbeat. That's your soul. That's your rhythm. Gang, gang. See that? Now you got a body that you can manipulate into reality. Now you can feel connected with people. You can build a whole family. You can build your own religion. You can build your own world. You can do whatever you want. All because you made this idea of a heart matter with a beat. Heartbeat. So I'm really driving in the importance of trusting the heartbeat, riding the heartbeat, okay? Listening to your vibration and listening to your spirit through your heartbeat, right? Like intuition, like straight up like real intuition is your heartbeat, okay? Your mind, your brain, these are all thoughts. Like these are all rationalizations. These are all like the ego clings to what it is aware of in reality. That shit's limiting. That light is limiting. Light limits you. Like when you can only see the reality that you're in, like that's the definition of being limited. Okay, so like this is where the ego is always operating in this like limited perspective of like, okay, this light, these lights here, these lights here. But all these lights only matter because of your vibration. Like every single light that your ego can possibly cling onto only matters because of your vibration. And it's you as a spirit that's observing all this happen. So it's you as an observer that's seeing how your vibration is bringing your light to life. And then that's happening through the mind, right? So now you as the observer can communicate your light into reality through your mind. And then that manifests as a body. So now you get the actual structure that is your mind creating something to allow its ego to connect with another ego because it felt like it. Right? Your ego didn't feel like being alone anymore. It felt like connecting with someone else. So now it created a vibe that allows it to do that, to beat. That's all water is. It's a beat. I mean, of course, this really is that rhythm. Absolutely, Commander rhythm pattern. Hilarious. Yes, it's the vibe, bro, for sure. So that's just me getting into the practicalities of the soul manifesting a body and the practicalities of vibing with people, right? Like when you have a heartbeat and you're vibing this body into existence, then now you can see like the practical ways that you vibe with people in reality, and then how that shows resonance of your souls. So if you as a spirit have a soul that vibrates at a different frequency than this other spirit, then you're not going to relate the same way as a spirit who vibrates closer to your frequency, right? So then this is like the idea of like literally finding your family or your true soul group, like finding people who actually can vibrate at your frequency, so that then you're able to feel more understood and related, instead of feeling like there's a disconnection, right? It's really easy to connect with someone and talk to them and feel like there's a disconnection. Really, isn't that like the point of social media? Like, everyone is looking for the people that they can connect with where they don't feel a disconnection. So I mean, that's like the whole point why you would be in this live stream, or just like watching this video at all, or just like watching any video. Like, you're connecting with someone based on what you resonate with, instead of connecting with people that you wouldn't get along with, right? Like, are you going out of your way to watch live streams of people you don't like? You know, like, obviously, let me not say obviously, you're probably not watching live streams of things you're not interested in, right? Like, it's hard to go out of your way to do shit you're not interested in, right? Like, we're talking, like, that's the soul, you know? Like, that's your vibe, your resonance. If you can't feel yourself watching a live stream of monster trucks, if that's not your vibe, you're not about to go out of your way to communicate and find yourself watching a live stream where there's monster trucks, and you're like, oh yeah, monster trucks. Like, the whole point is you are creating life based on what you want to see, right? So if your ego wanted to see monster trucks, and then you as a spirit connected with that, now you would create and go communicate to make the circumstance where you hop on social media and you watch monster trucks, and now you're vibing with that. But your ego had to make that first, and then your ego had to make your soul, and now your soul can uphold your ego. Your ego is like, I want to see the monster trucks, and then the soul is like, okay, I'll will this into existence. And then your mind is like, all right, communicate, oh, monster trucks. So it's always you. Like, the point is, it's always you as an individual having your own idea of what you're into. So anytime you're vibing with someone, or vibrating, whatever, vibing with anyone, it's almost always you vibing with yourself. I mean, not almost always, it really is. It's you vibing with yourself. The whole point is we all want to be with people that we feel like we can vibe with together. And then that's where ideally you communicate so clearly with someone that you actually do feel like you understand them, right? And then that's where we start to get into the spirituality of personality, let's say, and the spirituality of actually getting to know people. The spirituality of socializing. It like really gets deep, socializing. I could write hella books on that. I'm literally Hermes Trismegistus, so like I'm very social. I need Hermeticism, because Hermeticism is about being alone. It's about being happy being alone, and teaching you that as God, you are always alone in your imagination. So the more you get lost connecting with other people, you're kind of losing your godliness, because you're getting trapped more in hell. And this is the balance of knowing how to connect your God with other gods, but not connecting with people who don't see you for who you are. If you're connecting with people who don't see you for who you are, it's like getting sucked deeper into hell. And then it's just like having your ego killed as a god, and you're just forced to be dead almost. Like, you can't really be like the full, bright, dazzling star that you want to be as an individual. You feel me? It really is just this thing about what your soul is supporting. Is your soul supporting your own idea, or is your soul supporting ideas that were created by somebody else to make money out of you? You know, like, that's basically like everything. I mean, this whole English language. That's why M is the 13th letter of the English alphabet, because M13 is about making the structure. 1 + 3 is 4. It's about making the mind matter. So money makes this mind matter, right? The people who made money made their minds matter because they're making men speak English. They're making our mentalities speak English. So now everything we're building, the people who made English, they think and they view it like they own what we're building because they believe that we're all an expression of their God. That's the basic religious belief of this English language. So it's all about slavery. It's all about colonization. It's all about stealing everything you create and separating you from your spirit. But it's impossible to be separate from your spirit, as we're talking about here, okay? As we know. It's impossible to be separate from your spirit because otherwise you wouldn't be able to experience yourself. So if you feel separate from your spirit, that's because you believe more in your ego than your soul, technically. But if you feel connected with your spirit, then that's where you believe in your soul. And then that's the point of astral realm, right? You think about the astral realm, think about metaphysic realm, the invisible world. What makes life matter? Your memories make life matter, right? No one can see your memories, but school doesn't fucking matter without them. You know, like this logical dumbass world doesn't matter without the invisible memories that they say are non-existent. So lost. So no one can see how you think. No one can see how you feel. All right. All we can see is that you created a body that only you can manipulate. Right. That's why if someone found your body in the street, no one would be able to learn about your body except from you. They would have to wake you up and try to get you to communicate. And if you're not speaking the language that they're speaking, they're going to have a hard time learning about your body. Think about if you like woke up in like Taiwan or you woke up in Peru, you know, in just like some random country where people know that you're a human, but they don't know who you are, right? Like you're literally just a human body. And like they may try to learn about you by like waking you up and getting you to communicate. But if you're not speaking the same language as them, well, now it's a wrap. Like there's no basis of relatability there other than you both have beating hearts, right? So then that would be the empathy you connect on. Like, okay, well, clearly if they're a human, a spirit created this body. Like, and this is where people get individuality, you know, like, you can't just be like, oh, okay, one God created this body to serve me. Like, people really do believe that. I get it. That's how this country was built, but holy shit. The whole point. Did I just lose my point? I got flabbergasted that people really do be acting like this. And really do be having like no empathy at all. Like just like absolutely none. All because they want to say that you were created by their idea. But they have to teach you their language to make you believe that and even like be able to talk about it. It's like wild. Good morning to you. It is 4:28. So that's hilarious. I did totally have a point. In general, I'm talking about the ego and the soul. And your soul is your ability to support your ego. And your ego is your awareness. There's something there, but whatever. The point is, your soul, your heartbeat is your supporter, right? If your soul wasn't supporting your body with a heartbeat, then you wouldn't be able to exist. There we go. So like if you wake up in a foreign country where you have a heartbeat, people know you're a human. Like people know that you as a spirit are creating your body right now, or else you wouldn't have a heartbeat. But they don't know who you are as a spirit. Like they would have to listen to you and like build a rapport with you and get communication going to learn who you are as a spirit. And then that's the point of you using your heartbeat to build a vibration that allows you to connect and that allows you to resonate with others. So that's it for me right now. All right, that's wisdom on the soul. I hope this was helpful to you. Just came from my fasting video. Absolutely. Good morning. Yes. Fasting is all about getting support from your soul. Okay? So when you look at all these religions, everyone who fasts, they're looking for soul support, right? They're looking for that T, literally. They're looking for that trust, right? Like your trust in God is technically your fasting, right? Like when you fast, you're showing your trust in God. This is why people fast. And then from there, you're able to vibrate at a higher frequency that allows you to literally manifest life in a whole new different way. And then this would be you realizing that you're a God. You're the individual that actually created your heartbeat so that you can connect with other people. And now you can more consciously communicate yourself into existence. So, much love to everybody in here. Have an awesome morning. I hope you all take this wisdom, do it well. I know there are a lot of people who are kind of demonic. You know, that's not directed at you unless you feel like it is. Then I guess it is directed at you. But I know there are demons here just consuming my shit and still trying to fight me after all this time. But they're just like still learning from me, but like fighting me. And then it's like really them wanting to be seen and wanting to relate. I have no enemies. Okay, I love everybody. If you're someone who views me as an enemy, you're just telling me how you relate with yourself, and I don't want to relate with that. So I'm going to view you as someone who just wants to relate with me. And that's everyone who's telling me to sacrifice my life to Jesus or sacrifice my life to anything that they want. Anything. It's not personal like Jesus. It's literally about the concept of sacrificing myself for someone else's idea. And they had to convince me to learn what these ideas even meant. So it's a lot of witchcraft. It's a lot of soul binding. Snap. Well, glad you woke up early. All right. I hope whatever you could have caught and what you did was helpful for you as far as your soul. The point that I'm really hammering in this live is that trusting your soul is like trusting your heartbeat. You feel me? Like a lot of people don't doubt their heartbeats, okay? Like people don't worry that their heartbeat is going to keep going, okay? Like that's the innate spiritual trust that we're talking about when we're thinking about your soul, okay? So your soul is your water, all right? Think about your memories. So like you don't, the same way that most people don't worry about their heart beating, you also don't worry about your memories, like not being able to make memories too much, right? Like that's also not something people worry about very often. Like these things, of course, get worse over age. But in general, when you wake up, you're just making memories. Like you're just waking up like, okay, remember, boom, boom, boom. And you're just like doing what you got to do. Like you're not really thinking like, I'm scared for what if I can't make a memory? What if I forget that, you know, like it's, and even then, like the people who really do think like that, okay, they're in their head. All right, that's hard. All right, that's a lot of mental stuff. But your memory, your heartbeat, this is all connected with your soul, right? It's all this invisible force that's actually making your body matter, right? Like your whole body is only materializing because of your soul. Fighting demons is hard. Fighting demons is very hard. But you know, it really is perspective too. You can also be like vibing with demons. Oh snap, y'all in Cali? I'm in LA right now. So it's 4:34 a.m. for me. So trusting in your soul is like trusting in your heartbeat. And when you water fast, you're cleaning your heart. Your heart gets healthier and stronger when you fast. So it's like a soul workout. It's correlated in this way. It's a vibrational flex. All right, so if you want to learn how to raise your vibration, if you want to learn how you can heal your health problems naturally, I highly recommend hopping into Chase Your Genes, okay? Link is in the bio. All right, Always the Saying Academy, okay? Because everything that I'm sharing on these live streams, like I have to really curate the way that I speak to make sure I don't get cut off anymore and make sure I don't get the stuff taken down and everything. So if you really want like the true freedom of speech, if you really want like the true spiritual guidance and like the keys, yeah, that's in the website. Gratitude is my armor. Love and compassion are my weapons. I like that a lot. Enlighten me. Gratitude is my armor. Love and compassion are my weapons. I agree. I completely agree. Yes, gratitude is my armor. Genuine gratitude is my armor. For sure. For sure. GG. Good game. Genuine gratitude. Protect you. That's a 7. Yeah. Conscious armor. And then love and compassion are my weapons. Absolutely. Fighting demons with love and compassion get you very far. For sure. So, big soul vibes. All right. We're talking about your heartbeat. We're talking about your memory. We're talking about your connection with your space. To put it as simple as that, everything else comes out of that. But your connection with your space is correlated to all these things. And this is all your water, right? It's invisible, but it becomes matter. And all matter comes out of water, right? So this is why evolution, we can't run from this wisdom. Everything I'm saying makes everything in this reality make infinitely way more sense. Because evolution only matters when you know this. Like evolution could only take pace, literally. Evolution could only take place in physical reality because of spiritual memory, because of the soul. The only way your body could evolve and the only way a genetic blueprint could be built and then changed throughout time is because a soul felt like connecting with other souls. So it started building structures that allowed it to connect with other souls. And then that manifests as nature. Way before religion has any concept of life or whatever the fuck. Like I'm just talking about like the basic building blocks of the universe. So much love to everyone in here. I'm about to go get some rest. All right. Stay easy. Enjoy the rest of your day. I hope this wisdom was helpful for everybody. We're about to keep growing. We're just going to keep growing. We're nature. All right. We're all nature. We're all nature. We're expanding the universe so we can experience ourselves. It's as simple as that. Love you all. Bunches. Ha. Love myself. Bunches. Ha. I love the universe. Bunches. Ha. I love life. Bunches. Ha. I really do love the universe, bro. The universe is lit. This is why I'm really passionate about all this stuff, if you can tell. Like, the point is that all of us as individuals create the universe. So that's why, like, art is lit. The heart is lit. Earth is lit. Earth is where we share our art, which matters because of our heart. And now we can all get connected. We can all vibe and we can all resonate. It's very beautiful. Love life. Love nature. Hey. Gang, gang. Peace out, everybody.